And now's the time when things are shifting. There's gonna be a new world order out there. And we gotta lead it.
True internet suffered depression.
Who are fake news?
I am not suicidal.
We'll circle back with you directly. I can circle back. I'll circle back with you.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Hello and welcome to episode 277 of the Jeffrey and Brian Show. I am Jeffrey.
Brian.
And we're two guys drinking some beers, talking what's going on. We have the most handsome man on the planet with us once again, El Guapo.
That's right. That's right.
Giving us the Hispanic point of view because he's Latinx.
Oh, God. I thought that were you using that.
Even Gavin Newsom's talking trash about it now.
Yeah, he's not. He's out. It's like,
dude, what a slick fucking slimy guy. Dude, like, how can you lie like that so fucking quickly? No, like you. Oh,
because he's a politician. He's a politician, and he wants to become president of the United States. And he's realizing that the left moved too far left. But the problem is the crazy freaking progressives don't care. They want to go further left.
Yeah, and it's gonna back her. I mean, her.
Well, this is an excellent. Thank you for this wonderful transition to our fucking first follow-up topic. Jake Tapper from CNN is looking at getting fired because he came out and said that the media was covering up Joe Biden's mental dementia when he was one of the guys doing it.
Yeah, right. Sure. Fucking hypocrites.
I mean, it's entirely possible he didn't realize what was going on and said dumb things because he was dumb. But if that's the case, then why the fuck are you on the news, right?
Yeah,
right.
If you almost like an investigator, you know, like if you cannot, if that shit's so obvious in your face, you cannot realize it's probably time to retire.
Well, this is why I'm still following John Stossel. I'm a huge John Stossel fan. He actually does like investigative journalism still.
Yeah, he used to be left it too, and when he did investigation, they're like, hold on, this thing doesn't make sense.
Well, it's funny you say that because he did one thing about the waste of the postal service, right? And he brought up a specific post office to say this is insane. It only services like 85 people. That was my post office, not just growing up, but when I moved back to Massachusetts. It was a small post office in my hometown, but the rest of my town had a different post office and a different zip code. And it's still there. There's like 4 people that work there. I used to go there and buy money orders to send money to BMG Music Service so I could buy CDs.
Sure, it wasn't 8 cassette players?
No, there was CDs. I'm not that old, Brian. There were cassettes when I was growing up, but when I was old enough to have a job and go walk out and buy a money order to send $30 to buy 15 CDs, they were definitely CDs. And it's too bad that's gone because that was a great service. But the problem was if you didn't send back that letter, that thing that came every month that said, no, I don't want
You got charged for another CD.
Well, not just charged. You'd buy like the new one for $30 instead of buy one at half price, get 10 free, you know? And all I do is check one box saying, I don't want this CD. I want to buy this one. And, oh, look, I get a whole bunch free for 1 cent, you know? But different times, my friend, different times. Now it's all on Spotify and everywhere else.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, fuck. The cancer boy that the Democrats hate.
Yeah. He showed he graduated from Secret Service training and he reported the duty.
Oh, wow.
He got to meet a whole bunch of officials, and I mean, good. Like this is a feel good story, and we don't talk about a whole lot of it on the show.
No, we probably need to do a little bit more of it.
And I think you're right. Maybe we should make an effort to actually have a feel good section. But yeah, this kid is beating brain cancer, right? And the Democrats wouldn't even like applaud this child beating brain cancer because Trump said it. And they actually said, like, oh, this is just manipulation. Fuck you. I don't give a shit You still say, good for you, little boy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But yeah, he went through his Secret Service training because he's an honorary member now.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, met the president, met the VP, met all these people, and I think that's freaking awesome. You know, Brian, you shared this. I read the article, but please tell me what the hell is going on over at Reagan. I thought they fixed this mistake with
Well,
military
this is a
aircraft at
jet.
Reagan.
This is a jet and a plane. They closed the helicopter flight path.
So it's just a helicopter. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. This was involving a Delta plane and a jet here from Hampton Roads area from Langley Air Force Base.
Yeah. An Air Force aircraft almost
Yeah.
smashed. Yeah, almost got hit by a Delta airline, right?
A T-38, I believe that's a training plane.
Mm.
Honestly, I don't know enough about what the Air Force does. I do
Oh
know that
no, they were on their way to Arlington National Cemetery for a flyover.
For a burial or something.
Yeah.
Okay. The only thing I really know what's going on in the Air Force right now is they're getting ready to replace the 22 with a 47, and Boeing is still in the mix. And I'm like, I don't understand how Boeing's even being considered at this point.
I
You
wonder
know?
where they came up with the 47 for the name of the plane.
That's an excellent question. How do they come up with most of these names?
Well,
Because the
Trump
22 is like
Trump is
20
the
years old.
47th president of the United
Oh,
Oh God.
States. He did that to trigger some people.
Oh, he does good. It's good at it.
Trump is a good troll. I'm going to give him that.
Yeah. Troll master general.
Well, speaking of Trump, did you see that he went to the NCAA wrestling competition?
Yeah,
For the championships?
Clay went with him.
Oh, really? Clay Travis from the
Yep.
Clay and Buck show.
Yep. He
I had
flew on
no
Air
idea.
Force One, and it was funny because he's saying one day he flew on Air Force One to get home. He flew back on Southwest. He's like, it couldn't have been more different. But he's a big Southwest fan, so
Well, I was excited that he went to like a college wrestling tournament.
yeah. And one of the people were like, one of the wrestlers in the championship was in the Army and saluted him.
Well, hey, there you go. That's some respect right there. But
Yep.
what's crazy is let me open this up and check. Wyatt Hendrickson beat some guy named Gable something, and the only reason why I know that name is because Dan Gable used to be one of the greatest wrestlers in the history of the Gable Stevenson. But he beat this guy for the heavyweight title in college wrestling. And the thing is, Stevenson won a fucking Olympic medal. And some schmuck from nowhere beats him in the college wrestling tournament, which granted, he might have been competing in a different game in the Olympics than he was in college. And I don't know if people will understand it's different wrestling. Like high school and college is different. Then you got Greco-Roman, you got Olympic, you got all sorts of different. Like high school, that's folk style wrestling. Oh, there you go. Maybe this is what you're talking about. Hendrickson, the guy. There you go. Hendrickson was in the Air Force Academy for 4 years, and he wrapped himself in the flag.
Yeah.
And shook Trump's hand. Like, come on, you know. And make all the fun you want of actual like wrestling and not video game wrestling, entertainment wrestling.
Right.
It's a hell of a sport. It's one-on-one. There's no one else to blame but yourself if you don't win, right?
That's correct.
Well, on a similar line, you ever heard of Cain Velasquez?
I have.
He used to be I think maybe heavyweight champion of the UFC. He was a champion of one of these weight classes, I think.
Yeah.
But he just got sentenced. Oh, go ahead. He just got sentenced to 5 years. And granted, it was time served counted during this trial, so he was going to serve about a year in prison. But he chased down a man in his car and fired at him and hit the wrong man.
Ew.
Yes. No, and you should go to prison for that, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But this is why he got such a short sentence for this. He was chasing down the man who diddled his son. And you
Yeah,
know as well as I,
he's awaiting felony child molestation charges.
yeah, and go figure. The guy tried to, the man who tried to kill him gets sentenced before the guy who diddled his kid.
How does that work?
Yeah, probably just so that it wouldn't interfere with the findings of this courtroom. But Guapo, you know as well as I, some dude diddles your kids. You're seriously at least going to consider killing that man, aren't you?
No, nothing like that will ever happen.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
You may not actually act it up, but you're going to think about it. You're going to pick up your gun and look at it real good.
I don't
You know
need-
it.
I
He's
don't
not
need
going to
evidence.
talk about it on the podcast.
We're not gonna talk about it.
He
We're
can
not talking
neither
about
confirm nor deny that
That's
might
correct.
go through his head.
Well, hold on. Let me quote.
Possible deniability, okay?
Let me quote Sublime here, and don't think I'll think twice. Just stick that
Let's just
shotgun
say I
straight
may
down
buy him-
Sancho's throat.
I may
Believe
buy
me
him
when
a
I say
plane-
I got something for his punk ass.
Let's just say I'm gonna buy her plane ticket for a long extended vacation.
But the thing is, this guy was like the champion of the world in hand-to-hand combat. Why'd you bother shooting at him instead of just, you know what? You should have just beat his ass. And then when he was half unconscious, you should have sat down for, was it 90 seconds between rounds? Should have sat down in the stool and just looked at him and waited, then got up and kicked his ass again for another 3
No.
minutes. Then
See-
sat down, you know?
That's to show you when the anger take over. You just
yeah, you just lose track.
Yeah,
Right?
look, you know, he just.
I
wanna
know.
kill
I'm
the
just
person.
saying Velasquez could have done more damage literally just beating this man to death than trying to shoot him to death. But again, you can't just be shooting at people, and especially if you're hitting the wrong people. Come on. You're responsible for your bullets, right?
Yeah.
You guys ever heard of Allentown?
It's in Pennsylvania, right?
Yes. You see the city hall employee who put a noose, she's accused and charged of putting a noose on her own desk.
Well, I work for NASCAR.
Not for very
Yeah.
long.
Yeah, they found out that was. How stupid can you be? There was a freaking door thing, but no, this
Yeah,
was it.
He
That's
didn't even put that there himself. That was a pull down that you tie into your garage door. This woman actually tied a fucking noose. And here's how they know that she probably did it. They did DNA tests on it, and she was the only one who refused to consent to a DNA test. So they
Yeah.
took one with a court order,
Mhm.
and her DNA was the only DNA on the outside of the rope. And when they untied it, inside the knot.
So,
Yeah,
um,
put gloves on if you're gonna tie the damn thing, right?
and that's to show you raisins is in high demand, but there's no supply of it.
Thank you. You saw my post, right? The supply, the demand
Yeah,
for
supply and
hate
demand.
is the
Mhm.
demand far outlasts the supply of hatred.
Yeah,
But why do you want to be a victim? Like,
just like attention to themselves and stuff like that.
yeah, but dude, you could be a victim or a survivor, right?
Yeah, but
Which would you rather be?
just to show you how easy we got in life, they had to create fucking events just to make it fucking struggle and shit, you know.
Exactly. You got it so nice. You got to make this garbage up to make it look like you're overcoming something.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because everybody else is overcoming something.
Yeah,
And
we all are. Everyone is.
Yeah,
if you can tell
but-
me you're not, you have it too nice.
yeah, you got it too nice. Nothing else going on in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it happened to me at one point in my life. It was everything was running smooth like a well-oiled machine.
But
Everything.
you didn't start calling everyone else racist, right? Because of that.
No. As soon as I like, oh my god, everything's going well, things happen.
Yeah, shit happens and life
Yeah.
falls apart. Why would you set that up on your own?
Yeah, I know.
She might go to prison for this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if people realize that, but like reporting a false crime, especially one that you made up, is a crime.
Mm-hmm.
So remember Selena, the musician?
Yeah.
Her killer, who is the president of her fan club, is up for parole.
Bank. I'm sorry. Say that again. What?
The
The
woman
fan-
who killed Selena,
Yeah.
she was the president of the fan club, is up for parole in prison for murdering Selena.
Oh, the lady that killed Selena.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yolanda Saldivar. All right. For some
Okay.
reason, I thought there was an extra A, and I thought it was Saladivar. Yeah, Saldivar.
I mean, she did the crime. She did her time.
30 years.
30
is a long
years is a
time.
long time in prison.
Yeah.
And people still probably hold grudges against her.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm not going to stop you from holding the grudge, but we hold people for less than 30 years for some very serious crimes too.
Yeah.
So
I mean, is time up for parole? I mean, she's good conduct. I'm sorry, but she had to get out. You know, that's the laws. It is what it is. You know.
well, again, yeah, exactly what you said though. Good conduct. Parole doesn't mean your sentence is up. That means that the minimum amount of your sentence is up. And as long as you didn't screw up in prison and show that you've rehabilitated, we might let you back into the population.
Right.
Yeah.
But at 30 years in prison, your life's over.
Yeah.
Oh no, hold on. Think 30 years ago. What was cell phone technology?
Well, none of Shaq
30
Morris.
years ago?
Shaq Morris got one in the Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, it was the old school car phone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you missed all of this advancement. I can't imagine spending 30 years not being in modern society and then coming back to it. Like you missed so much.
She coming now. It's like, hold on. You telling me Trump is in office? Does anybody hate him? Why?
Because you know, everybody loved Trump when I went to prison.
He was a
Exactly.
fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, he was in Home Alone too. And she goes, wait a minute, you guys voted for Kamala Harris? Isn't she the one who like kept guys in prison past their terms to work as slave labor?
Yeah.
No, I think that was before. Oh, you know who Kamala was processing going after? Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson's dead. Oh,
No.
she was trying to put him in
Yeah, when she was the
okay.
DA. She was the DA.
For
The one
diddling
that
kids.
yeah,
Oh,
when the
was
one
it-
that yeah, she was the prosecutor, the DA at that time.
Now, which case? The touching kids or when he held his kid blanket out the window over the balcony?
Touching kids.
Okay.
That's what she was the prosecutor in California, and that's why Janet Jackson held a grudge against her.
Well, okay, that makes sense. Now, here's
Yeah.
the question for you.
Mm.
What's his name there? Oh my God, the kid from Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
Macaulay Culkin swears Michael Jackson never did anything inappropriate to him, right?
Unless you like it.
Well, no, okay, maybe. But I'm just thinking, if you're Macaulay Culkin, he touched all the other kids and he didn't touch you. It's like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah,
You
no,
know?
too pasty.
Too tasty.
Pasty. Too,
Oh, tasty. I think
No,
tasty.
pasty. Too whitey.
All right. Now I haven't heard this name in years, and I saw this and I kind of skipped it because I was like, I don't really care. And then I think both you guys shared Juanita Broderick.
Yeah.
She was what, an attorney's general under Biden, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
she
sounds
died.
right.
She was found dead at like 57 years old or something like that in
No.
Virginia.
She's like 50 something. She's a
57 is 50 something, dude.
Yeah.
No, I thought she was like 45, 50, something like that. She was
Maybe
like,
too young to just randomly die and not go, what happened
Epileptic.
here, right?
epilepsy. That's what they find out.
Oh, epilepsy doesn't usually kill you though. Usually it's something else that happens because of it, like you hit your head.
Yeah. Well, I guess she had a.
Well, she was a Biden attorney, a U.S. attorney, so she was one of the prosecuting people from DOJ.
Well,
Yeah.
I think she had like a stroke or something like that, epilepsy attack or something like that.
Well,
Kill her.
stroke and epilepsy are very different.
Something like that. I forgot what it was. The like natural causes. Like, okay, yeah, that's to show you when you're a strong, independent woman, you're gonna die alone.
Oh
Ouch.
my word!
Ouch.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. I go to hell anyway. So.
Oh, don't get me wrong, dude. I got some crippled jokes to bust out today because apparently it's okay now. And I saw
We'll
I
get
saw
to,
you
we'll
get a
get
good
to
laugh.
Governor
Oh my
Hobbs.
I know you got a good laugh, Guapo, when I said, you know, I like him. I just wish you would make a stand.
I was like, yeah, let me back out of this one.
Yeah. Oh. Maybe funny is, okay, check this out. This
Oh.
crazy left wing dude, the guy I keep bringing, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
I invited him on the show. And I was like, no, let's seriously talk about this stuff. And I was like, you know, I don't hate you or whatever. Like, I also
Right.
would have unfriended you, obviously. I just disagree with you. But he has no problem calling me terrible names publicly when there's no actual conversation to be had on Facebook. I invited him on the show for a conversation. He's like, oh, fuck no.
I'm scared.
You know? And he was the one who got offended when I said, like, "Oh, I kind of like Governor Greg Abbott. I just wish he would, take a stand once in a while." And he's like, "Oh, I hate him, and I wish he would drink bleach." I was like, "Dude, I'm making a joke because Ratchet Crockett made it okay to make fun of cripples again."
Yeah. Dude,
Timmy.
I don't know. It's like Ratchet Cracker. See, that you got me getting.
Yeah, see how easy that was?
I know. Dude, when there's like we saw the video how she was before, like all proper stuff like that.
Yeah,
You know,
and
like,
we brought
damn.
that up on this very show.
Yeah, I was like, damn, man, I could see myself put a ring on it. As soon as you put a ring on it, the ratchet comes out.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is she comes up with this fake black scent.
Dude, she's so hard. Dude. She's trying so hard, dude.
Well, why? The only reason why you would do that is if you think
Pandering.
the people you think are gonna vote for you act and speak that way. She went to fucking law school in Cambridge, Massachusetts. In case you don't know what that is, that's Harvard.
Mm. It's like she's not telling you she got both parents at home.
Yeah, she knows who her dad is.
Yeah. Yeah. She's not telling you she's a valedictorian.
Well, just like Kamala Harris, like I was raised middle class. It's like, bitch, both your parents were doctors, and you went to a private school in Montreal. Okay.
Yeah, middle class don't typically go to private schools.
Jasmine Crockett's elementary school education costs more than most Americans' college education.
Dang, that's an expensive school.
Yes. I think her parents were paying something like 10 grand a year for elementary school. And he's like, well, I paid similar, but you only did 4 years of college, typically speaking, right? Now, Brian obviously decided to do too much school and never actually get a PhD because, he refused to put in the work.
PhDs are overrated.
You say that, but you can say, I'm a doctor.
No, she don't end up like, what's the name? Jill Biden. Everybody knows
She got an honorary PhD. Brian could have actually written a thesis.
She's got a doctorate, but it's a weird one. It's in
elementary education or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's not a commonplace doctorate.
Outside, we need to reel down. Like, if you're not a doctor of engineering, math, or science, you're not a fucking PhD.
Or medicine.
Oh, medicine. Thank you.
That'd be science, I guess.
Yeah, science and stuff. But actually, a doctor.
What do you need a doctor in elementary education for?
Yeah,
what are they gonna do?
They just want to
superintendent, I guess.
Yeah.
You just want to.
And then they now look at the education system. We got kids graduating with fucking high honors, getting scholarships to college that can't read.
I think there's no. What I will resend that fucking acceptance to that college. She's asking for. She's gonna be trouble.
Well, just like I said about AOC.
Just like point she graduated from college, she's like, I cannot get a job, so now I'm gonna sue you.
Just like I brought up with AOC, she's got a UMass degree in economics. She was a bartender that believed in socialism. Anyone who went to UMass should demand their money back because apparently their education means garbage.
Yeah.
Garbage. And yes, my accent is coming out. I've had a couple beers. My mother-in-law is in my house. Okay. I actually like my mother-in-law though.
That's good.
Now, this next one here, Brian, made me laugh because it's Bayside High School, and
we just talked about Saved by the Bell. We literally just brought up Saved by the Bell. Zach Morris.
Yep, all I can think was Zach Morris at Bayside High.
That's weird how Ray probably didn't even notice that, and he already put Zach Morris into the show.
Yeah.
Or do I put that much thought into the way I set this show up?
Maybe.
Maybe no, that was actually just a genuine coincidence, honestly. But I do put a lot of work into how the things flow. But yeah, what's going on with this dude at Bayside High, and was it Norfolk or Virginia Beach or whatever?
Yeah, let's see here.
Oh, no, somebody was following this kid topless with no shirt to the school.
It was in Virginia Beach, and he was detained after removing his shirt.
Yeah, he was like
school.
Yeah, he was like chasing. Look,
he got in the school and took his shirt off.
Yeah,
something like that. So, yeah, so probably a bump and stuff.
Did someone tackle this guy?
I didn't follow that
He
much.
was later. He has been detained and charges are pending.
Yeah.
No weapons were recovered and no threats were made. But apparently, it's school policy that they're going to prevent risk to students and staff.
Yeah.
Well, how do you get in the school, honestly? Unless
No,
I mean,
Virginia
I
got a
guess-
bunch of bumps, dude. They're getting bumps over there. So
Well, I mean, when I went to school, the doors were unlocked, so you go outside the building.
Not anymore.
dude, this is back in the 80s, okay?
The doors,
90s.
you got to push a button and look into a camera now and let the office buzz you in.
Yeah, well, when I take my little girl out of preschool, I got to
Mhm.
knock on a door and wait for someone to come answer it because everything's locked to protect the children.
Mm-hmm.
How did this guy get? Unless it was like the
Just got
buses
walking
were
off the
coming
street.
in.
Yeah.
Well, if the buses were coming in, the doors are open for the kids. But at the same time, why was there no one outside that door saying, "Hold on, you're 40"?
Right.
No.
Where's the child you're dropping off first?
Hold on. The way a 40-year-old crackhead dressed and a teenager, the way they dress, probably looks the way the same,
I mean, except for the freaking the dirt and the grease and the 3 days no shaving.
Hey, you got some liberals like that. Stop talking about them.
Well, I'm sorry if not taking care of yourself is a liberal quality. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, you seen them lately?
Meanwhile, we got people climbing through the barbed wire fence at the airport here in Norfolk.
See what I tell
And,
you? There's bumps
it-
everywhere.
It's a good way to get shot for real.
That didn't happen, so apparently not.
Yeah. Oh, no, exactly, Guapo. Thank you. Like
He was
Brian
standing
said,
near a plane at the airport. He was
So
spotted
it's-
almost immediately. Duh.
Hold on.
You
Immediately,
think? The tower
immediately
didn't notice him right away. You think?
but he got next to the aircraft. Like he could have
Yeah.
strapped a fucking bomb to that thing.
Apparently,
What?
a pilot saw him and contacted the tower and let him know the runway was closed briefly to allow the police to get to him quickly.
Immediately, me as soon as he jumped.
He said that,
boom.
and the article says no aircraft was actually near the man, although the image showed the man just
showed a
outside a plane
picture.
window.
Yeah, they showed a picture. They took a picture of out the window of the
Yeah.
plane. Like, oh, what's
But
that guy
how?
doing
I
there?
mean, somebody might have zoomed in on it. I don't know.
But
See,
then
this
He
you-
looks close to me.
yeah, you wouldn't see the window, the plastic around the window if you zoomed way in to make it look closer.
Mm-hmm.
That
But
guy was no more than 20 feet away. I guarantee it.
did they need to send him like 30 years just to make an example out of him?
Maybe, man. You don't fuck with aircraft, right?
Yeah. Like fuck it, you're gonna. That's terrorist threat. We're gonna send you to Iceland.
No, we're gonna send him to El Salvador. Apparently,
Gitmo.
no, no, we're sending him to El Salvador. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, El Salvador's like, yeah, we'll take him. You give us
No,
10
you can't
prison,
send him
we'll
to
take care of
Salvador
him for
because
life.
Well, El Salvador's got unused prisons, so they might as well farm it out to other countries and get
Yeah.
paid.
but you have to take people from outside the country. I guess this guy's a citizen, so you have to send it to Greenland.
You're right. Well,
We can't send them to Greenland. Yeah, Greenland's
It's a
not
territory.
state.
It's a territory. Could
No,
be.
it's not.
But
Not in the
how? Yeah,
U.S.
Not yet.
send him to Puerto Rico.
Yeah. But no, Cuba.
You know
Cuba.
what? Just turn him loose in the streets of Puerto Rico. Don't even put him in prison. Like, yeah, go figure this out, dude. Like, trust me, those guys here have way bigger dicks than you, and they're way harder than you. You know. I don't know. I may have been to Puerto Rico, but it is not the richest area.
No, I've been to Puerto Rico. On my way to the British Virgin Islands, I flew through Puerto Rico.
Yeah, beautiful, but there's a lot of poverty, right?
Yep, and a lot of corruption. That's
Yeah.
why when they had that huge hurricane that came through a few years back, and the power grid went down for months, nobody could figure out why.
Let me bring up a point that not even a point, something that we never put. None of us put in here, but I read about it. Did you see about this earthquake in Myanmar or Myanmar? How do you
I think there's a couple. There was one in Myanmar, where and then there was one in Thailand too.
probably the same earthquake, honestly.
Okay. Yeah, but apparently there's a coup going on in Myanmar right now, and the people are still bombing the populations even though they've been hit with an earthquake.
Oh my God, that's vicious. Because they found at least over 1,000 dead already, and there's still hundreds missing. That's just a horrible tragedy, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
But the fighting keeps going on.
Dude,
Yeah,
I just saw a video. You know how the pool there's the building, they got the pool and stuff. They saw a couple just chilling by the pool,
Mhm.
and that thing starts shaking. They were like, "Holy crap! I would be shitting my pants."
Yeah, it was like an 8.0 or something ridiculous.
That's
wasn't it?
strong as hell.
Well, they've changed the scale. It's not called the Richter scale anymore. So
Oh, I did not know that.
they changed the just like they did with tornadoes and hurricanes. They've come
They're
up with
not
a
F
whole.
anymore.
They got a whole new scale.
Okay, I thought
This
tornadoes are still like F1 through 5.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's not like it used to be.
Okay, okay.
does it sounds better or no?
Yeah, they're trying to.
You
Make
pussy
'em-
hit in your face,
Yes. Just the tail.
just to tell. And
Just the tip.
mm-hmm.
So
Uh,
this one next one on here. You put it in here.
I put it in there because I thought it was a big mistake by Youngkin.
He's done it for years. He's never going to agree to it. This is a
Yeah.
problem that the Democrats created for themselves. There was a time when they controlled all three branches of the executive branch and the two
they-
legislatures.
And they
That's
could've
when
full-on
they
legalized.
pushed through the decriminalization, but they never created any laws or regulations on how to deal with recreational marijuana.
Yeah, so they decriminalize it, which means you can grow your own plants, and they're not. gonna
I'm
come
growing
get
them
you,
right now.
Yeah, so they're not going
What?
to come get you.
Yeah.
But
Just
And
take-
you can have a certain amount of for personal use on you when the cops pull you over.
and even give it away to your friends as long as it's less than so much.
Right.
You just can't sell it.
No.
Can you
And that's the thing is like, well, the problem is, you give me a bag of marijuana, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking your word for exactly what it is. If I go into a dispensary, this
Mhm.
shit's documented exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's all lab tested and everything.
And the government gets a cut. A big cut. Massachusetts taxes 17% on cannabis sales.
I think it's higher than that in Michigan.
Yeah, so I mean, why not let the government get a cut, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, if you're gonna let me grow my own plants and hand it out to my buddies, why can't I go?
Well,
buy
Virginia
it?
was like the first southern state to even decriminalize it. So
I still think it was a big mistake. This is an opportunity for Virginia to bring in a whole bunch of tax revenue and regulate a market that's happening anyway. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But hey, I'm not in charge. I don't make the calls. I think it was just a mistake. I think Youngkin should take a step back and say, shit, what's the difference between pot and beer? And we all have our own arguments on all of them, but really, what is the difference in terms of what it does to you? Pot
Yeah.
makes you lazy. Well, fucking beer might make you
Not if you're
angry.
smoking the right stuff.
Oh no, okay, no, bull. Marijuana makes you lazy, and you know it. Even if you're smoking a good sativa, you're gonna get less work done, and you know it.
But I'm not gonna nap.
Well, I mean, I used to love my indica because it would put me into couch.
Pretty much these days, it's all hybrids though, so they're mixing the
Well, that's
both
because-
together.
That's because pot got so fucking powerful. The shit that you can buy in a store today is not the same shit my father used to smoke in the 60s, and you know that.
I didn't smoke in the '60s.
You were alive in the 60s?
Yes, I was.
Jesus Christ, you are so much older than I thought, and I keep making fun of how old you are.
Not very long into the '60s. It was '68, but I was alive in the '60s.
Okay, I was alive for a little while under Reagan. How's that?
I voted for Reagan.
Was born in 82. What, he took office in 80 or like 78 or something?
Yeah.
I
Eight-
didn't
eight-
vote for. I think I voted a second time around or something. I don't know.
84. I'm not sure when he took office. It's been so long, and I was a little kid. All right. By the way, I even shared to the group chat that you guys put way too many local articles this time, even though I shared one. Apparently you guys had oh, that says Delaware, doesn't it?
There's
Or-
no,
I thought
Don
that was
Scott. No, delegate.
Delegate. Thank you.
You know who? Delegate Don Scott is the Speaker of the House in the state of Virginia.
Okay, and
Here.
apparently he was banned from speaking at an
No,
event.
then
in
nobody
Virginia Beach
knew
High-
who he was. Like because he got a record on him.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
They got a
Yeah.
lot of them.
He got a record when he was younger. He got a criminal record and stuff like that.
Wow.
So I guess they run his background. Like they're like, yeah, you can contact. I'm the Speaker of the House. He's
Yeah,
a lawyer. He's a lawyer. He works. He works with the radio station here, and the one of the talking guys on the radio station. He's a lawyer, prior JAG officer, cab driver. Now he's a lawyer. I mean, he's still a lawyer, and he do radio talk. And he was like, yeah, the delegate, they're both for the same law firm. It's like, what the hell happened? They're like busting chops about it. Yeah.
Well,
I
Clay Travis is still a registered lawyer in Puerto Rico.
Really?
Yeah, he's keeping his law license in Puerto Rico just in case he ever
Why?
needs it.
Did he need to speak Spanish over there?
Nope.
Oh, how do they?
Enough
do that?
people speak English. Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory, so
Yes,
a
it
lot of
is,
people
but-
still speak English.
I know. I mean, I don't know if the official language is English over there.
Has to
too.
be.
The United
Third-
States official language is now English.
I know, but it's a territory.
It doesn't. It's still United States, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Guam.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I was about to say Diego Garcia, but that's not ours, is it?
That's
Yeah.
British. The Brits. Probably Trump should buy that. Take that from the Brits too. Next.
Actually, no, you're probably right on that because the only reason why we're there at all is for a strategic standpoint, right?
Yeah, the Middle Indian Sea.
Ridiculous Navy base in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Wait, I believe it's off the coast of India.
No, the Indian.
Puerto
Ocean.
Rico has 2 official languages. Guess which ones?
English and
Spanish and
Spanish.
English.
Yep.
Okay.
With Spanish being the dominant language of business.
That's what I was asking about Clint Buckler. He need those go the guy translator.
Well, he hasn't been practicing law in like probably not 30 years, probably 15 years. You know, he's the one that started Outkick and created Outkick and sold it to Fox.
I thought
and now he's in broadcasting. So
no, I thought he started like the way he's a sport guy, and I thought he
Yes.
started. I thought he started like as just a sport commentator and just became famous like that. I didn't know
Oh
he
my
was-
God, what's his name? Stephen A. Miller.
I guess so. Like Ray
From
Romano,
ESPN?
Ray Romano from Everybody Loves Raymond. I thought
Oh,
that's how
that was a TV show. That was
no,
a
but his
joke.
background, he's just sport commentator and he became famous that way. That's how he
I
ended up
forget. Yeah,
because
but there's plenty of those.
Clay Travis, he loves talking about sport. He loves that shit.
yeah, that's
He
because
talk-
he started Outkick.
Yeah, and I thought like, okay, that's probably how he started. I like, all right, whatever. I didn't know he was actually lawyer.
Yeah, yeah. Him and his wife lived in Puerto Rico for a few years. Right as there, he got his law license. He
Okay.
said it was a fantastic job. You know, it was Island Time lawyer. So
Dude, I say you probably speak Spanish. I don't know, but
He might.
today, this gentleman come in. He looks African American. Okay, cool. He was struggle
Freaking
talking to
American.
me.
So he looked like Elon Musk.
No. He looks like from African American. Okay, he struggled
No,
talking to
African
me.
American's not a place. He's not from Africa America.
Well, listen to me.
I'm just busting your balls because people keep saying African American, and the South
Well, he
Africans are
struggled
like
talking to me in
60% white.
English. He
so you
struggles
talk to
talking.
him in Spanish,
No, I thought he was like from Africa. Like, okay, cool.
but
He's
not.
like, do you speak Spanish? I'm like, yeah. So we started talking Spanish. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. I go like, where you from? Oh, I'm from Honduras. Okay, yeah, I forgot.
Well, remember, Spanish is the most commonly spoken language on the planet.
I know.
Okay.
No,
remember,
English.
English is.
Spanish is the most commonly spoken language. Is a first language in a nation. My
Mhm.
apologies.
Yeah,
More people speak English because they want to be able to do business.
big business.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but no, he spoke Spanish
Real,
from
who doesn't
Honduras.
speak
Like, okay.
Spanish?
Huh?
Let's be real. Who doesn't speak Spanish at least well enough to get around and buy a beer, find a place to sleep, and a place to take
Bathroom.
a dump?
No
Yeah.
te está el baño.
There you go, Sam. How do you get another beer, Brian?
Dos cervezas, por favor.
There you
Never just
go.
get just one. You always get two.
Because you've been around the world and you know if English doesn't do it, Spanish will, right?
Mhm.
I used to know some curse sayings too, but I don't remember.
Oh, Gigante su, what the hell? But no, I remember I think we were in Turkey, and my buddy, I say my buddy, he was in my division. He had just turned 19. Like he
You
signed up
told
when
this
he,
story before.
yeah, but I was negotiating with a hooker in Turkey in Spanish for him to get a better price.
How's in your Spanish?
Pardon?
How the Turkey?
You
Girl?
probably wanted from Turkey.
Okay.
No. She was from Turkey, but what difference does that make? Doesn't mean you don't know Spanish.
I don't know.
I've never
what
been to
does-
Spain.
What do
I
they
know
speak in Turkey? I need to ask my neighbor.
Turkish
There's a language.
They got their own
and
language,
Arabic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I got her down from 70 down to 60.
Mm.
So it's,
No, that went. You went up.
huh?
You went up.
No, 70 is 7.
Yeah,
I thought. And 60
then
is
it's
60.
6. Okay.
Well, I see here
Yeah,
West
hold on.
Virginia
Did the
is
white guy
trying to get
just
ahead
tell-
of the Maha rules.
Yes, West Virginia just passed, finally officially signed off. The Governor Morrissey signed off banning 7 artificial food dyes because they're potentially harmful, to include tartrazine, also known as Yellow 5. And in case you're like, why Yellow 5? It's in Mountain Dew. Remember the jokes you used to like shrink your dick to lower your sperm count?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what Yellow 5 actually is?
Nope.
It's a byproduct sludge of purifying coal.
Sounds delicious.
And we're using it to dye food like Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
So they have 3 years until January 1st of 28 before this goes into effect. So Kellogg's and Pepsi and everyone else gets a chance to adjust their formula. And
How
we're gonna
long
see what-
before Robert F. Kennedy, the new Health and Human Services Secretary, makes it nationwide?
Well, I got a feeling he's going to wait and see what happens in West Virginia first. But
They can't
maybe
wait too
not.
long. Trump's only in office for 4 years.
Exactly, because if this is going to take 3 years, that's a long time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I
he's-
mean, they got to start pushing. This is how things change and change back and change back. Because they wait too long to initiate things and get them going, and then the next administration disagrees with it and switches it all back again. How many times in your lifetime have you seen that happen?
a lot, and well, that's why Kennedy has been working closely with Morrissey, and they're putting up the quote 4 pillars of healthy West Virginia, and they're going to change the food pyramid completely to be something completely different.
Well, yeah, because Kennedy wants to change that too.
Yes, and don't get me wrong, I love my Mountain Dew, and in particular the Baja Blast.
I liked it when it was only in Taco Bell, but now it's everywhere and it's just not the same.
No, well, I'm excited. I can buy it in cans at the gas station now instead of going to Taco Bell.
Well, I like me some Taco Bell, so
Yeah, Taco Bell's an hour away, dude.
I
I
couldn't
love
live
Taco
there.
Bell. But
It's a treat. It's a treat.
Yeah, it's funny. The wife went out to pick up the mother-in-law from
She brought you back Taco Bell?
oh no, at the airport. The airport's in Charleston. It's a 2-hour drive.
Goddamn.
I drive through Charleston all the time.
What pissed me off is that she took 5.5 hours to come back home.
Okay.
Well, I had shit to do.
Okay.
Did you get a baby? Remember?
That was the thing, is I had to sit there with the baby and not do the stuff I had to do.
Yeah.
And oh, you're an asshole. No, this is something that we have like arranged in advance. That's why
Mhm.
typically Saturdays I don't have much to do because I sit down for like 3 hours.
Well, I think we
And-
did a lot better this week because I updated it and you updated it in the middle of the week, so it
Yeah,
wasn't.
except you blew it updating it. You put like 7 articles that were already in there.
Oh, well, you'll get over it.
Well, I did because I looked at it. I was like, oh, this is where I should put it. Oh, it's already there. Right, but no, exactly. But it's still a matter of organizing it to try to make it flow like a conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know it sounds, it's not that much work, except we seem to keep bringing up exactly what needs to be said to go into the next topic, like Bayside High and Zach Morris, right?
Yeah, that was weird. And now we're moving to court overreach.
Yeah, and border security in general.
'Cause we got this
Ah.
judge that is blocking the Trump administration's effort to dismantle Elizabeth Warren's brainchild, the Consumer
What's that?
Financial Protection Bureau.
Okay, yeah. What the fuck is that?
It's
And
supposed to be a entity of the government that watches out for the little people.
so you're saying I'm too stupid to look out for myself?
Yes.
That's
Elizabeth
what it sounds
Warren.
like.
No, I don't say that. Elizabeth Warren said it.
No, no, no. That's what I'm saying. That's
She
what
was
it
like the
sounds
first
like.
head of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau.
Now it's one thing if this. I mean, I understand if you're trying to say no, this is against the law because you're obviously taking advantage of people. For example, the food dye ban. You're putting poison in our food, and oh, you think it's poison? Well, fuck. Autism went up by what 900% in the last 20 years. Maybe this is attached to it. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it is. Let's fucking find out. But when you say Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, it makes it sound like you're saying I can't get a loan
No, it's
because
supposed to protect the little guy from the big corporations, but in theory. But we all know that
what does that mean though? Like I'm selling a product to a corporation and they're not giving me enough money is the idea, or is this something else? I don't know. I think that's the problem. Is they don't actually have what they actually do. They claim to do something, but what are they actually trying to do? Well, that wasn't a good argument, I guess.
they are. Here's what the Federal Trade Commission's Bureau of Consumer Protection is designed to do: to stop. This is their mission statement. To
Okay.
stop unfair, deceptive, and fraudulent business practices by collecting reports from consumers and conducting investigations, suing companies and people that break the law, and then developing rules to maintain a fair marketplace and educating consumers and businesses about their rights and responsibilities.
Sounds like a lot of gobbledygook.
And that's why Doge is all about it, you know?
Wait, it sounds like they're just trying to spend taxpayer
Doge is trying to
dollars.
get out the gobbledygook.
It sounds like they're just trying to pay someone else to tell me I'm not dumb enough to make a decision when I engage in business. Meanwhile, I don't know if you know, West Virginia is dealing with a with the what do they call it, the Uber laws is the nickname for it, but it's referring to like you can't keep contracting people. After like contracting them 3 times, you have to hire them as a permanent employee. So, well, what if I don't want to hire someone? I just want to buy like news articles they wrote.
Well, I mean, they're doing that in California, and California is a lot of the people are moving out. I mean, a lot of those
Yeah,
companies like Uber and they're not even Lyft aren't even operating in California that much anymore. That's why
exactly.
they're moving to the driverless car model.
Well, and the funny thing is West Virginia is now a MAGA state, but it's been run by Democrats for a very long time.
Right.
I don't know if people realize. I mean, Joe
Oh yeah.
Manchin was a senator. Robert Byrd was a senator. You remember Robert Byrd, right?
Yeah, the Grand Master of the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah, that Joe Biden gave the eulogy at his funeral.
Mm-hmm.
But Tim Pool is actually going to be leaving West Virginia soon because of this, because he's trying to buy news articles from people that are up in like DC. And the West Virginia's like, no, you actually owe us like $30,000 in tax because you hired this guy 6 times to do a specific job. He's like, no, I bought shit from them.
Right.
It's like, no, you have to hire him as an employee. It's like, I don't want him as an employee. They don't want to be my employee.
Yeah.
They don't even live in the goddamn state.
Right.
And West Virginia's argument now is like, oh, we're trying to undo it. It's like, how about you stop enforcing it then?
Yeah.
Like, isn't that something the governor should be able to do with his executive authorities?
Sound like he don't got power.
If
Somebody
it's a
else
law, no.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Obama did DACA. It's illegal to cross the border illegally. Unless, of course, you're this age, then we won't do anything about it. You get to stay here forever. Deferred
Trump
action.
spent the last 6 years trying to get rid of the dreamers.
Oh, deferred action for childhood arrivals. Deferred action. That means we will do something about it later, right?
No, he won't.
Well, that's what deferred means.
Well, I don't think that really means what it means.
So
when
the
it comes
president said
to
we're
the
not going to enforce the law.
The Democrats do not believe that.
Well, see, and here's the thing: is the executive gets to decide how to execute the laws that the legislators legislate, and then the
Right.
judicial branch gets to judge whether or not it was done judicially. Almost as if the shit was written that way on purpose.
And now the judges won't lift the block on Trump's deportation of Venezuelans under the Alien Enemies Act.
Yeah, the judge has no authority to do that. I don't understand how a circuit court judge in DC, what 600 circuit court judges or something like that?
No, it's got to be district court judges. There's that many judges.
Whatever. So you tell me that all of these judges have more authority than the president of the United States?
That's what they're hoping for. That's why some of the congressmen and senators are proposing legislature to limit. A district court judge should not be able to issue a nationwide injunction.
Oh, should only apply to their district, right?
Yes, which is very small.
Yeah,
Like
like
Newport
DC
News,
itself.
the district. Hampton's a different district. That kind of level.
It's funny you brought up Virginia, Newport News, and Hampton, because didn't they just pick up the leader of the MS-13 in Virginia?
Yes, they did.
Good. I don't know if everyone realizes MS-13 is a real big problem in Virginia. When I was working at, I'm gonna steel man this for you. I'm gonna say when I was working at 7-Eleven in Virginia, the MS-13 guys, and you knew who they were because they had a giant MS-13 tattoo on their neck,
Okay.
were the most polite motherfuckers there were coming into the gas station at 5 a.m.
Okay.
Hey, let's not have any reason to give the cops to search our car, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But it doesn't mean they weren't skinning people alive and making them walk across hot sand, right?
Right.
Which by the way, they've done. They've made videos of this. And they're selling fentanyl, I believe.
Everybody's selling fentanyl.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. What
Everybody
a
not even
horrible
know.
drug. Well, I'm glad he's gone. I hope they get the rest of these assholes. Maybe
I just talked about this. Senator Grassley wants Congress to limit nationwide injunctions.
yeah, that's why. Yep, that's why it's. Geez, again, what? Like I thought of how this conversation was going to flow before I put it in order. Yeah, because exactly, a judge shouldn't be deciding nationwide things unless he's the Supreme Court, right?
Right. Or, I mean, even higher. Circuit Court can probably, they're better equipped to, they're more regional,
We can at least say, hey, let's have a really good look at this first,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
Versus some guy in Newport News, Virginia, going, hold on, the president of the United States has to stop bombing freaking Yemen. It's like,
Right.
fucking you, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a leak. And you know what? I put this Mohammed thing in here because everyone's been talking about it for so long. I don't give a shit about this guy being deported. I don't care what he was studying in school.
Well, this article is about that he hid working for the UN in his residency paperwork. So
this is the
he married a U.S. citizen.
But he's not he's not a
He's
citizen.
got his
yet.
green card.
Yeah, that could be revoked still.
And that's what Secretary of State Rubio is in the process of trying to do.
So when they arrested this guy, they moved him to Florida. New Orleans.
Yeah, well, they were ordered by a judge, probably a district court judge, to move him back.
But when they did that for a purpose, because when you ever get called a federal court, you have to go to the closest one to you.
Yeah, well, they did. The administration didn't do that.
The administration
They
did
moved it. They moved him to a federal court system that was more Republican friendly, other than the D.C. area.
Damn.
Because the federal court system D.C. is very different than the New Orleans federal.
No,
court.
that's why they moved it all the way to New Orleans.
And then the judge said you got to bring him back to a
No,
closer system.
I don't know about that. I think they're gonna keep it over
Is
in
this
New
the
York.
guy who was supporting Hamas publicly?
Yeah, married to a
Yeah,
U.S. citizen
Yeah,
with a
go
green
ahead
card.
and read the laws concerning legal immigration. You can lose your status instantly for supporting even adversaries of the United States, let
Well,
alone
he was
enemies.
expecting it. You know, he was like,
Waiting
called a
for it.
lawyer. You know, almost like he wanted to be made an example of, to like
Yeah.
to you know become more popular and more famous.
And this is blows my mind. So many people are still supporting Hamas and they have no idea what they're talking about. Like you see all these people with their rainbow flags, like queers for Palestine, queers for Hamas, and like you do understand they'll throw you off a rooftop for being gay. Sculpa, you know this, right?
Yeah, they're just dumb fucking college kids.
Yes, they are dumb
Tell me,
college kids. You are absolutely right.
tell me, you spending money for something you're not gonna get value out of it. Oh, I'll go to college.
Shit, you follow Charlie Kirk at all?
No.
Okay, Turning Point USA.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Charlie Kirk is the boss man there.
Mm-hmm.
And this is exactly what he's saying. College is a scam. He's like, you want to be a lawyer, you want to be a doctor, you want to be like a design skyscrapers engineer. You might need a PhD. Yeah, but you don't need or you might need college, but you don't need college to be a welder, to be a plumber. And you're gonna go and you're gonna borrow all this money to go to college. And then you're gonna expect the American taxpayer to pay it off because you're working at fucking Starbucks. Bitch, you should have got the job at Starbucks first. They would have paid for your worthless college education, right?
Yeah. Well, join the
no,
military.
And then Joe Biden got shut down twice by the Supreme Court on these college debt forgiveness, right?
And he was the one that was. Everybody's talking about how Trump's resisting the court system, and looking for ways to get around it. And Biden was an expert at that.
Yeah, well, Trump's looking to a way to get around it. Joe Biden just said, "No, I don't care," and did it again.
Yeah.
Blows my mind. All right. You see this fucking whack job in California?
Yeah.
That's, saying we should deport Melania.
Good luck with that.
She's an American citizen.
Well, he's a whack job.
Just like I keep hearing about. See, it's one thing to have status to stay in the country. It's nothing to be a citizen. Just like Elon Musk is a citizen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
You can't just. And here's the problem: is a lot of these folks think they're literally just rounding folks up with brown skin and kicking them out because they weren't born here. It's like, no, you came out and supported enemies of the United States, or you committed a crime. Because it's too much effort to go find you being here illegally. But hey, look at this. You jumped on the radar and made it a point. Tell me where you are. Boom.
Yep.
Just like these fucking morons lighting Teslas on fire. For real, by now, how does everyone not realize there's like 20 cameras in a Tesla?
Exactly.
But they're still doing it. And by the way, no, we're going to get into Tesla. We're going to make fun of the big protest today.
Okay.
Well, because nothing fucking happened.
I know, and you got this court that temporarily blocked Trump from suspending the refugee resettlement program. That's because there's too much money wrapped up in this program. There's actual companies and entities that their whole sole purpose in life to make money is by providing for the refugee resettlement program.
Now, see, it's funny you say that because that dude Sean now is talking about where I was talking about Governor Hot Wheels. I made a joke about it. He made a big deal how he wants Greg Abbott to drink bleach because he resettled migrants.
Yeah, he was trying to draw attention to a problem with the Border Patrol and the current administration at the time, that nobody was doing shit on the southern border.
Well, yeah, like, oh, it's no big deal. Massachusetts, no big deal. Oh my God, it's so easy. So he got together with DeSantis in Florida.
Yeah.
And they sent, what was it, like 18 illegal migrants to Martha's Vineyard, and they were rounded up like criminals
within minutes of landing.
And now we're saying you can't do, oh my god. Now you're saying we can't stop the moving these people, the resettlement program, but you guys called this guy a Nazi for doing exactly that a couple of years ago.
Yep.
And this is the whole what the fuck is going on? Like, does the average person who votes, you know, I won't even ask the question. I'm just gonna make a statement like I've said several times. They have the fucking memory of a goldfish.
Yeah.
That's right.
When they go around that fishbowl, they come around, they find that castle again, and it's brand new every time.
Must be nice.
Yeah, it must be nice, dude. But the problem is they're always offended instead of happy, like a goldfish, you know?
Yeah. Oh, that's the trouble.
Well, apparently to get around, as we said, Trump likes to try to get around stuff. Apparently they're going to use the State Secrets Act for these deportations, saying, yeah, you know what? It's none of your business why we're doing this.
Right.
It's fucking national security.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Well, these are all laws that are on the books.
Right.
If you don't like them, change them instead of saying, no, we're not going to do it. Because only the people that execute the laws get to decide whether or not to execute the laws, from the president down to the actual police officers who have discretion on whether or not to make an arrest, right? Not the court.
And you see here where the lawsuit over the Trump's admin use of Signal has been randomly assigned to Judge Boasberg.
Yeah, was this his fourth or fifth case involved with Trump that this same guy keeps getting involved in?
Very random, I guarantee.
Yeah.
Not.
Jeez. This sounds illegal. But there's a whole reason why it's supposed to be random, right?
Yeah.
So this doesn't happen. But here's the thing about this Meta. I say Meta. Signal. I keep wanting to say Periscope. This Signal thing, and you know what I'm talking about.
It's like it's supposed to be like a end-to-end encryption. You know, the government doesn't have a way into it, but on the No Agenda show, they swear up and down the Signal has got a back door in it for the government, just like a lot of these places do.
What the fuck difference does it make if the government does or not? Because the government was using it, right?
Mm-hmm.
My point is, there's no.
I've looked over what was said on there, and there was no real details included in it.
No, and it was. I genuinely think this was not an accident when they accidentally included Jeffrey Goldberg.
Yeah, I think this is why I posted a quote Mandrake's gonna do what Mandrake does. Look what's going on. What?
No, go ahead. I'm surprised you termed Mandrake.
Oh, the Mandrake, the magician.
See, I pictured the mythical beast.
Oh no, Mandrake the magician dragon. From the anyways, Defenders of the Earth. I don't know if you ever watched that.
And Goldberg proved that they're not classified documents because he wasn't afraid to publish it in the Atlantic. Well, you know, if it was really classified information, then he should have the FBI knocking on his door for violating state secrets and being arrested.
Yes. And here's the thing, though, is like you said, you read it. It wasn't, here's what's going to happen at what time and yada, yada. It was a couple hours before the actual attack, and it was released as a back and forth conversation about why. And I'm going to tell you why I think this was on purpose put out to this guy, because they knew he was going to blow it up. This was an intentional leak because Trump more than once has said we shouldn't be bombing Yemen. He went on Tim Pool's show, actually, and said that.
Yeah, well, that was before the Houthis took over the shipping lanes.
Yes, before everything changed. So they had to go in there and explain why and going, well, fuck, Europe ain't going to do shit about it. And I'm pretty sure Haig says, like, yeah, I'm sick and tired of bailing out Europe, but who else is going to do it?
Right.
Like, they because if they did a press conference and said all this shit, it wouldn't have been covered. And then what did get covered would have been like, oh, they're full of shit. Versus, oops, we found some secret leaked shit that explains why they did all this stuff, that no secrets were released. And let's be real. You think they had a conversation about this bombing 2 hours before, or did this happen 5 days before? And do you notice there's no shorthand?
No,
everything was written in proper English.
Yeah, that's not normal.
Yeah, for texting. And you can say, "Oh, well, it's the government." Yeah, okay. You're telling me government officials aren't humans too, especially this stupid Trump administration, right?
Mm.
I think this is completely on purpose to dump all this information out there as to why they were doing it. And my support of this argument is that Trump said, "Nope, no one's getting fired."
Mm.
Because if this is a genuine mistake, what's his name there? Walls
Should have been fired.
would have lost his job already, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think this was intentionally put out there so that the media could put it out there as if we found something that wasn't there. And we got the inside scoop, but you just made the Trump administration look good for seriously considering why they're doing it and have a good reason to do it.
Yeah.
Speaking of, the Truman was in a battle for like 3 hours today with the Houthis.
Again
Today?
today? I thought it was a few days ago.
I'm pretty sure it happened again. Maybe I'm wrong. It's
Oh,
entirely
shit.
But
possible.
they were saying what the Navy said that the drones didn't even get close to the ship. So
Mm.
I don't understand how anyone's attacking a United States aircraft carrier, honestly.
Mm.
they
That's
got to
not
get
like,
through the battle. They got to get through the DDGs and the cruisers.
yeah, and the submarines.
Exactly.
I mean, it's one thing if you're Russia showing up with an Armada, right? But like,
Use
you
the
tell me
drones.
Houthis launch missiles from a shore base and the cruisers didn't shoot all that shit down and then fire back first,
Right.
Mm.
Bullshit. I don't understand what's happening here. And Trump at least did something because Biden just turned his back every time this shit happened when they sank American merchant vessels.
Yep. Sure did.
So, and again, it's just a matter of paying attention, isn't it?
Yeah.
And let's be real, Brian. Okay, all three of us read the news, right?
Right.
But
Most people
we
don't.
Yeah, and that's the thing is,
They see the highlights on
they
the
see a headline on the
internet.
Facebook
Yep.
and X.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, Sean guy, I said something that I saw on X. And he goes, "Oh, you mean Twitter?" I was like, "Did you just dead name X?" I was like, "You bigot." And I wish Claire had seen that. Because do you remember when Claire accused me of dead naming her on this show?
Yeah.
And I was like, I swear I didn't. But even if I did, I'm sorry. I knew you was that person first, Do love Claire. I love our dirty tranny. All right. So, Brian,
I don't understand what's going on here. I've
Yeah.
seen articles
you.
where
They're dead?
they're missing, they're dead, and they're alive again. So I'm like, I just put it in there. We have training soldiers over in Lithuania, and that's really all I know. They're
not
missing.
not just Lithuania, the border of Belarus and Russia. And
Okay.
first thing I read was they were found dead, and they made it sound like these 4 army soldiers were in some kind of like anti-tank vehicle training.
Uh-huh.
Got stuck in like a swamp or a marsh and sank and couldn't get out in time to drown.
But then the army came back and their NATO came back and said no, they're not confirmed dead yet.
So why, if you're gonna say confirmed dead, this is how they died. That means that, what, do you not have bodies?
I don't know. It's very confusing. They
So
reverted back to the missing statement.
So maybe
After the dead statement came out.
Yes, after the. So I mean, shit. Did they defect?
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But apparently, there's at least 4 missing soldiers in Lithuania on the Belarusian and Russian border.
NATO is Lithuania is a NATO country.
Yes, but people don't understand that what Belarus is either.
It's a
Russian ally.
Yeah.
May as well be Russia.
I was looking for a different term, but yeah, that's basically what they are. Yep.
Well, Belarus, Russia. Come on. Where's Guapo when I need him with that Spanish? Actually, I think Bella is Italian anyway. It means pretty. I think. I don't know. I don't speak Italian at all.
So when did North Korea get nuclear weapons?
10 years ago.
Okay. Apparently,
don't
they're
have.
threatening us with overwhelming response, according to Newsweek, who doesn't even publish an actual hard copy of their magazine anymore.
I know. You know what?
How is this even relevant anymore, Newsweek?
Okay, well, first of all, I just want to bring up Newsweek.
Sure.
Newsweek used to be a very, very reliable source,
I
right?
did. I used to have a subscription to it while I was in the
Yes.
Navy.
So it was a requirement in me in high school to have a subscription in a certain class I took because we wrote articles on Newsweek articles. Like we
Okay.
wrote papers on it.
Mm-hmm.
But North Korea has the atom bomb, but they're not making 100 kiloton bombs and they do not have ICBMs. They got to drop this shit out of an aircraft like we did in World War II.
That's
What,
not very
19
reliable.
Yeah, 1942 what was that? Jesus Christ, 43 we dropped the bomb?
I wasn't alive
Was
then.
it
I don't know.
45?
I wasn't alive.
Yeah, 43, I think they attacked us. Either way, was almost-
41. It was
was like
41 they
80
attacked us.
okay.
Pearl Harbor was December 7, 1941.
There you go. So a couple years later, we nuked them. It was 80 years ago. And these guys have 80-year-old technology saying we're coming with overwhelming force. It's like,
Bring it
bitch,
on.
you're dropping your bomb out of an aircraft that we can see take off from the ground. Ours come out of submarines a half-mile from your shore. You know? I challenge North Korea to actually do something for real. I mean, they tried to get involved with Russia and Ukraine. Look how that went, right?
Yep.
More of them ate their own gun than getting killed by the enemy.
Right.
What? They need to stop the saber rattling. No one cares, motherfucker. All right. You give me the currency of an entire country of people, and no, not even scientists, just me, and I can fucking split the atom. Okay. Might take me 10 years, but what did it took North Korea 80 years to do it.
Right.
They got shit weapons. They got shit technology. They have no idea what's going on. That's why everyone's in poverty and they're all trying to run out of North Korea and they get executed for trying to leave. And let's be real. Why hasn't the rest of the world stepped in and done something about this yet?
Right.
Is it China? Because I don't think China is going to do shit to stop the United States from moving into North Korea. Honestly, not today.
China would love it if we were distracted by North Korea.
Yeah, because they could take over the auto industry again or something.
They
like
could
that.
take over Taiwan.
There you go. The microchips.
Well, that's why Trump's bringing chips back to the States.
I think it's a good idea. So Zelensky's back in the news because apparently it looks like he issued an ultimatum to Trump about this mineral deal that Trump wants.
Well, we talked about this on a previous episode that I heard that they've already agreed to a minerals agreement with the EU.
So, okay, fine. Let the European Union fund this war.
Them.
Why is it our problem, honestly? They're not NATO.
No.
They're not a U.S. ally. They were actually set up to be a borderland. Ukraine literally translates to borderlands. It's supposed to be a gap between what was the Soviet Union, now Russia, and Europe. I don't see the problem with the United States saying, fine, fuck you then. Right?
Right.
But now Zelensky's saying he expects a serious response from the United States and the rest of Europe because of these drone attacks coming at him.
Nobody thought the war. Well, I mean, the only reason this war has lasted as long as it has is because of U.S. support from the Biden administration.
Obviously, dude. And you know what? Anyone who says otherwise doesn't understand how much money. We have given more money to Ukraine in weaponry for this war than France. France's GDP.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you when I say that. We have sent more money in weapons to Ukraine than France makes in a year. And France is going to give us a hard time? Fuck you. Where are you, Froggy? You just waving a white flag? Sorry, let me talk trash about the French. You know, If it wasn't for the French, we wouldn't have our independence. Let's be real. We all know that, right?
We wouldn't have French fries.
I don't know about that. Americans love to fry shit. We eventually would have fried potatoes, and you know it. And you know
They
what?
could have been called freedom fries.
Well, I keep hearing now like fried chicken is racist. I'm like, to say black folk like fried chicken is racist, but to say fried chicken's a black thing is
It's
stupid.
not.
Because everyone likes
Everyone
fried chicken.
loves fried chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone. Oh, sorry. I get so upset about what's going on in Ukraine because it's so much money.
Yeah.
And then people compare it to Israel. I'm like, we've given more money to Ukraine in the last 3 years than we've given to Israel since they've existed.
Yep.
And that means nothing to people.
No.
It's like we're not fighting Israel's war for them. We're not funding their war. We're giving the same amount of money we've always given them.
Yeah.
And you know what? I still think it's time for them to get off the tee. You know? No, if you can't walk at this point, I'm not going to be your crutch anymore. I say the same thing about Ukraine. It's none of our goddamn business. Now, don't get me wrong. Russia shouldn't be taking over Ukraine, but I don't think it's our fight. Just like I don't think Hamas, Palestine, Gaza, whatever you want to call it.
The only reason people would say it's our fight is because a previous administration promised security if they got rid of their nukes.
So you're telling me my grandfather made a promise and I have to keep it?
Well, we did. We've already that same administration already broke the promise, though.
There you go. So okay, yeah, they denuclearized. Big mistake. I'm gonna be honest with that one. But seriously, what if they had nukes? They talk about buying a nuke from France. What are they gonna do with it? You really want to watch them launch a nuke at Russia right now?
No. That's
God,
World
what's
War.
gonna happen?
That's World War III right there.
If Ukraine nukes Russia and Russia nukes them back, I hope the United States puts their thumb up their ass and says, none of my business. So I don't know if everyone understands it. The United States has more nukes, but Russia has bigger nukes. Do people understand that?
I don't think so.
Like they could drop like 5 bombs and detonate them in the stratosphere above the United States and poison all of us. They don't even have to kill us with the explosion. They'll poison us with nuclear radiation, and we'll all die slowly, a horrible, painful death as our skin falls off. But this is shit people don't think about because, my butt hurts. Spit on it instead of take your dick out of my butt.
And then there's Tesla.
Yeah, the big day of protest, whatever they called it.
Yeah.
It was today. Did you hear anything about it on the news?
No.
I actually looked this up. Hundreds of people protested.
Hundreds.
Hundreds. Not nationwide, worldwide, at every Tesla dealership. There were hundreds of them.
So
that's not very many people.
What does that mean? Like 5 people put Tesla?
That's what about, yes.
Okay. Okay. I just want to make sure I got my math correctly,
And oh my God. And again, it comes back to these idiots like and Teslas. And you're like, dude, by now, haven't you seen these guys getting busted on the cameras?
Yep.
And why are you dumbing up? These folks are not following the news. They heard hate this guy, so they do it,
Well, let me ask you this. Are liberals well known for like being informed of what's going on?
Not even necessarily not informed, dude, but
they
like,
get all their information from MSNBC.
Are they gonna publish? Are they gonna publish that? Like, hey, they got cameras on it.
No, but even so, well, no, but you still see it all over Facebook, right?
They're not gonna follow the people we follow.
Well, even so, I hate John, so I should light Bob's car on fire.
Mm-hmm. You see that, but did they see him getting arrested like a few days later? No.
Oh yeah. And when the guy busted him, he's like, "Hey, you're the guy who keyed that Tesla." He's like, "What?" He's like, "No." He's like, "No, dude, you were in the same jacket." You know?
Yeah.
He's like, "He's like, there's like 20 cameras in that car."
Yeah.
Did you see the guy who built his own do-it-yourself four-wheeler and smashed into a Cybertruck?
I saw. Yeah, the heavy set
Oh.
guy.
Heavy set. That was morbidly obese. That dude had a D cup, and you know it.
Yeah, he was diabetes type of -400.
He's been arrested.
Mm.
It just blows my mind that like you're gonna light your neighbor's car on fire, and no, I went to the Tesla dealership. Yeah, you mean when the guy went to get the maintenance done on his car, right? And it hurts Elon. How does Elon already sold the fucking car, right?
Yeah, do these people not know for fucking logic thinking?
No, they don't think in advance, just like these guys in
No,
Canada.
logically, like okay, like anything logically. They don't understand how human behavior is. You know, like they like to fucking do
Look how money moves.
how money moves, how human behavior. You know, like oh, everybody's gonna be kumbaya. No, there's conflict and interest. You know, people they're not gonna be kumbaya all the time. You know,
But yeah, and if
religious.
you're gonna attack my car because you don't like someone else.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, you're lucky if you don't catch a chest load or double odd buck. You know.
Mhm.
And well, just like these crazy nut jobs at the liquor stores in Canada, grabbed all the American liquor and poured it out. It's like you already bought it.
Yeah, it's a waste of
You, the
money.
liquor store, already bought it. He's like, "What are you doing pouring it out? Now you just lost money." You know.
Yeah.
And it's because people are dumb. No one can see beyond the hood of their car. They can't see beyond their nose. None of these guys play chess.
Well, this New York senator's got it all figured out. He's introducing a bill that will ban in-person Tesla sales, shutting down their dealerships.
How's that out against the law?
Okay, constitutionally.
Tesla didn't want dealerships at first.
No, actually, you're right. They didn't at first, but it was the best way to sell cars, so they finally gave in. But like New York's gonna say you can't sell your car here. Why? Because I don't like you. I'm pretty sure that's against the law.
You would think so.
Fucking.
Let me bring up a better argument. A better argument that that matches this one here. If I can change gender, right?
Mhm.
Because I decide I'm a woman now. That means that gender is no longer immutable, correct?
Correct.
If I can change it, it's not immutable. Therefore, it does not apply underneath the Civil Rights Act of 1964,
Oh boy.
which means I can, in fact, discriminate based upon gender.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's take a step back and have a look. Let's play chess. Because you're supposed chess. If you're good, you see 5 moves in advance. Right?
Yeah.
If I do this, they're gonna do this, this, or this, and then I'm gonna react this way.
Yeah.
These guys going, light it on fire. It's like, what? How's that gonna help your cause? I don't care. I'm angry. It's like, well, fuck, I'm angry. Can I just light your car on fire? And these are the same guys that called you Nazis for not having electric cars 8 years ago.
Right.
And now they're, by the way, who paints swastikas on things? Who carves swastikas on things historically? Nazis.
Yeah.
So you show me you carve a swastika in my car. You're the fucking Nazi telling the Jew to go away.
Yeah, it's like this is my property now. This is where we are.
Makes no sense.
Like I say, they're known for having logical thinking behind their actions.
Same thing I'm saying with they can't think of move in advance.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I saw a bear in my yard a couple days ago, right? I was like,
Mhm.
oh
Yeah.
shit, it's bear season already. Oh, well, not hunting season, but like the bears are awake. They're coming out of hibernation. So I went into my bedroom. I took out my shotgun. I hung it up over my fireplace with 6 rounds. I can load it plus breech load around just in case.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
But these folks are the fucking bear. He goes, I'm hungry and wants to eat my dog because he's hungry. Yeah,
Right.
the thing is, I got a loaded double-aught buck waiting for him. And I don't know if you don't know what that means, but that I got 2.25, I think, 2.25 inch rounds. They hold 9 millimeter lead ball bearings. That's like getting shot 9 times by the cop with one trigger pull. Do you want to be the asshole standing in front of that?
Nope.
No.
Hell to the no.
And this, and it makes me think of the McCloskeys. Remember them?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
rich
In
people.
Illinois.
yeah.
Yeah, stood there in their front yard after these assholes tore down the gate to the gated community. These guys stood in the front yard with guns with no firing pins. How fucking crazy are you to make a threat saying "back off" with a gun that doesn't work?
They didn't know
They're in
that.
prison.
They didn't know that.
Yeah, they did. They were lawyers. They had the fire.
No, the people, the kids.
Yeah, no, you're right. They didn't, but they're also stupid kids that might be dumb anyway. Now you encourage these idiots, and you have a weapon that doesn't work.
Yeah. They could go bang, 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 bang.
Dear God, I hope I never ever have to point my weapon at a human and fire.
Yeah.
But you better believe that's going to happen before you get to my children.
Did you
And
see some
especially
of these contracts that they're getting rid of for the federal government, like the Department of Agriculture 300,000 grant that was going to educate on food justice for queer and transgender families, farmers in San Francisco?
I'm curious, what different diet does a queer or transgender person need than I do?
Well, they had the same contract in New York. I would think that we would eat the same shit.
Yeah. Wish we had Claire for this one, because maybe Claire has a special diet. I don't know.
Yeah, and then we got the $600,000 contract out of Louisiana that was going to study menstrual cycles of transgender men.
Oh my God. I could save you a lot of money on that. Just give me the money. I can save you a lot of time. Just give me
We
the money.
might need to get into this gravy train.
No shit, dude. Like, yeah, non-existent.
Well, that's the thing. Had I known, we could have got paid for doing literally nothing and then coming back 5 years later. Give us $500 million. 5 years later, come back. Nope, men don't menstruate.
Transgender men do not menstruate.
Well, how did I miss this gravy train, dude?
I know.
My God, the government teat is so huge. I never thought to suckle from it. You know. I say that.
And then
actually,
here's
when
the $2 million contract that was going to Stacey Abrams NGO.
Okay, Stacey Abrams, the name I kept forgetting. She's the one who still.
She's the unelected governor of
Georgia.
Georgia.
She's still claiming that she won that election, which
Yes, she
I thought
is.
Democrats.
No, I think after the second bidding, she already dropped the fucking.
Whatever, we gave her what, $2 billion for some garbage that went.
Well,
straight
they
to
gave
the
her
fucking-
$100 in 2023 and then $2 billion the next year.
Oh my!
She was doing such a good job.
Hold on, $100 to $2 billion.
Yes.
So you tell me it was a 20,000 times more amount of money?
Sounds like that.
Jesus Christ. Brian, let's come up with a stupid fucking name for something stupid. No, let's put Claire's face on it, right? Claire
Well,
can get a cut. And no, we'll get to retire as billionaires.
Exactly.
Because we said, nope, Claire doesn't menstruate. How do you know that? Because Claire has a penis.
We ask her every morning. You menstruate today? Nope. Okay.
Yeah. You get your
Every
period
morning.
yet?
Yeah. Okay. After 2 years, following them.
And you know what? I don't even feel bad saying this because Claire is more conservative than you, Brian. You know.
Oh, yeah. I know that.
And you're more conservative than I. All right. The main thing.
Yeah.
Do we care
Did you say-
anymore?
About what?
What's going on
Well,
with Maine?
They're trying to make an example of Maine for not following through on the
Well,
DEI
today-
stuff. The
Today they
transgender
officially
stuff.
folded.
They failed it.
Today they officially folded, and they're going to give in to Trump's demands.
All right,
But this
then.
is after. This is after they already shut down the fucking DOE and not
Mm.
giving them money anyway.
Damn. All right, fuck it. Move
Well,
on.
I don't understand why America's top Ivy League schools received $6.4 billion in federal funding in 23-24. Some of these schools have endowments that are in the billions.
Yes,
They don't need federal funding.
the wealthiest people in the country are still donating to these Ivy League schools because they're where they got their education. I wouldn't be this wealthy had it not been for like Harvard or Yale or Stanford. So literal billions are being fed into these schools, which is nuts because they're still charging tuition,
Yeah.
right? And then the federal government's giving them money. Why are private schools getting federal funding? How much money does the federal government give to Catholic high school?
None.
No, weird, huh?
Mm.
Yeah.
Strange.
Separation of church and state.
Bullshit. I'm sick and tired of hearing the separation of
You
church and
know I
state.
like to trigger you with that phrase.
I know you do, but you know as a fact, just as I do, that never shows up in the Constitution.
No.
You know what else never shows up in the Constitution? The word democracy.
Because we're not a democracy.
Yeah, it showed up in the Federalist Papers between.
We are a representative republic.
Well, yeah, Jefferson and I can't call the other guy's name in the Federalist Papers. But either way, they brought up democracy and they spoke of it poorly because it's
Hamilton.
mob rule.
Hamilton.
Yeah, Hamilton was involved. You're right. That's not the name I was looking for.
Adams.
No,
Benjamin.
no, but
Now you're just naming off names.
You're just listing off founding fathers now that weren't involved.
Were
in
they
Federalist-
part of the Federals then?
No, the Federalist Papers were letters back and forth between a handful of guys
Okay.
about founding the government.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you see where the NPR head came to Congress and they were quizzing her on why she changed her beliefs in this, and this. And she kept saying, well, they've been evolving over the last 50 years. We don't really get that much money from the federal government, but what we do get, we need.
10%. 10% of their budget is federal government. And I saw 30 videos of this 3-minute interview. I believe it was Jim Jordan that
That
was
sounds
blowing
about
her up,
right.
but I couldn't find the actual piece I wanted that wasn't someone else talking over it. It drove me nuts. But
Okay.
he kept quoting shit to her. She's like, I have no idea where that came from. I was like, well, you put this out on Twitter.
Yeah, you tweeted it.
Yeah, you
People
put this
don't
out.
realize that what you put out on the internet is there forever and ever.
I
and
don't
ever
believe
and
that.
ever
I
and
don't
ever.
believe that. What the hell is my MySpace pictures?
They're still there. You just got to log into MySpace.
Wobbo, you think I'm kidding? I will find them. I'm not going to do it now,
Go
but
ahead.
I will find them for you just to blow you up. Because
Awesome.
it
Awesome.
never. No, MySpace still exists. You know
Yeah.
that, right?
I know.
Your
no, it's
account
still-
still exists.
I forgot my password, so if you can send me my pictures, that would be awesome.
Yeah, but no, that's fine. That doesn't mean it's still not there.
You can't reset your password.
I forgot. This is like a lot of times.
It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
20
And
years
I bet
ago.
you Tom's still your friend too, right?
Probably.
Was it Tom?
Tom,
Always Tom.
he was your first friend because he created it.
Let's see. Signing
Oh
to
my
my-
God.
I had to
Oh, yeah,
go
they
through
kept-
freaking Facebook now and Twitter. Oh my
So
god.
yeah, they kept blowing her up, and she's like, "Well, I don't believe that anymore. My views have evolved." Like, well, you said you're not biased, but you have 87 editors that vote Democrat, but not one who votes Republican or
Right.
Libertarian. Like,
There-
well, I don't check this, and he goes, "Well, do you?"
I'm
and there's no
shocked that
audit."
it's that way. Shocked.
Yeah, shocked, I say.
No, not really.
Have you listened to NPR, man? It used to be a good news source.
You got to have the right accent and the right tonality to do it.
When we started this show, remember Sean all the time? He's like, no, man, I listen to NPR. You think he listens to NPR now?
No, we don't listen to no fucking NPR now.
Tell
I
you
just
what,
I was
shoot him a
just
message
visiting
right
him
now.
like a month ago. I was down there seeing him. So
Yeah, down in Florida, right?
yeah.
Yeah, shoot him a message like, hey, do you still listen to NPR? He's like, oh, fuck no. And you know it. And I love it because like every like 8 months at like 3 a.m, I'll get messages from him through Facebook,
Nice.
and he's wasted drunk.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Especially
Sean.
right after he got out of the Navy. He's like, I got nothing to do. I don't know what
He-
to do.
He still has nothing to do.
Come back on the show.
He won't do it. I've tried.
Because he's got no balls. He's
And,
like a lefty Democrat.
And there's a judge that's blocked Carrie Lake from dismantling the radio network that's been the Voice of Democracy radio network.
NPR and CBS, right? Or PBS?
No, I think this is the Voice of Democracy.
I didn't know there was a Voice of Democracy. I'm sorry.
Radio Free Europe.
Oh, when we publish it overseas, because it used to go over the Berlin Wall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Berlin Wall, fell in the 80s, right? Under Reagan.
Yeah, they're saying that she doesn't have the she's violating federal law by moving to slash the Radio Free Europe's funding.
Why are we funding this?
This also sends out it's also part of Voice of America and broadcasts into Cuba and places like that.
I don't give a fuck about Cuba either, dude. I really don't. Like,
Well, that's what Trump's saying is we're wasting money here. There's $7.5 million that have already been allocated to this agency.
yeah, to do a radio broadcast. No, for real.
Yeah, to
How
run a
often do you-
radio network.
How often do either you actually listen to the real radio, like radio waves?
Never.
Yeah, and you're older than I. Guapo, you're about the same age, maybe older, maybe younger. I don't know. I'm 42.
Yeah, same here.
Okay.
Hmm.
You listen to radio?
Yeah.
How much? Instead of Bluetooth in your phone to your car and listening to that instead.
Like, no, I listen to a local radio station.
Now I do a little
through
bit.
through Bluetooth and stuff like that because my antenna sucks.
All right. Well, I mean, here's the fun thing is I sometimes Bluetooth my phone to my car and I use my FM 99 WNOR app
WNOR.
because the music there is fucking awesome. They play Mudvayne,
Yeah. But yeah,
here I have a classic rock channel and 3 country channels. I can listen to CCR or Clay Travis, Brad Paisley,
No, but I use a local AM radio because they told me about traffic was going on. So I'm driving around.
well, AM radio is very different, and you know it.
No, but it's a talk radio. It's a talk radio. Then every half hour they give me the traffic.
I still like to listen to a Rumble in the morning.
Yeah, I still listen to it like from 5 to 6. After that, I listen
funny.
to local radio station talking about like current events, and that's why I get like I think
ideas to look up.
And listen to you guys, but the one that I don't know if you put it here about the dog in the airport.
Oh, it's in there. It's in there. And you know what? My mother-in-law flew through that airport today.
Uh-huh.
We'll get to, go ahead and bring it up. It's in leftovers. This broad wanted to fly overseas, right?
Oh, this story. Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, like
this is insane.
I want to send it to you guys, but in a way, like, okay, if you could fly with your dog, what would you do with your dog?
Well, I tell you what
fly.
you don't do. You don't drown your dog in the toilet of the bathroom so you can go fly to Europe.
Yeah, so this is gonna eliminate the fucking belief. Like I already debunked that. Oh, females are more docile. They don't do violent stuff like this and stuff. Like I could show you video left and right about women doing crazy stuff, especially
some of them. But I can show you way more videos of dudes.
Yeah, but it's more. I see more females doing this crazy bullshit.
Yeah, no, you're right. She abused a like a Shih Tzu or whatever, a little tiny.
Yeah, but if you could call the cops like, hey, look, I cannot take it with me. I would like to turn in. I'm about to take a flight, and just you turn it in with the police, or the airport.
Just go home.
I mean, what if you had to leave the country? Like, I don't know.
Don't
I don't know her.
fly.
I don't know her situation. Does she have to go back
There,
and now?
okay, first of all, it's vacation. Second, there is a way to bring a dog with you on a flight. You have to announce it to the
Yeah, but
airport in advance.
yeah, but I guess something glitch or something they happen. But the
No,
last
sometimes you
resort.
That
say,
doesn't give you the ability to kill the dog.
No, but the last thing you're gonna think about is fucking killing your dog. You turn it into somebody, call somebody, do something. You
"Hey,
know?
come pick my dog up," right?
Yeah.
Instead, she drowned it in a toilet and left it there to get on her flight. She's
You know
been
how they find
arrested.
it? You know how they find it out? The dog,
No, I don't.
the collar with her phone number still on the fucking
Oh,
dog.
wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful, good thinking, bitch.
You know?
But yeah,
No,
she's out on bail. She paid
Yeah.
$5,000 bail. She's
Mhm.
looking at cruelty to animals and
Yeah.
something else. It's a felony charge. Like, what's the matter with you, right?
Right.
Like,
What's
is
the
it-
matter with Greenpeace?
This is why I don't date Latina chick. Okay.
No Latinx for you?
No, Latinx.
Yeah,
crazy. They
Greenpeace is
fucking
being
kill you
sued.
before they did the bullshit.
Greenpeace lost that lawsuit.
Oh, that's why they're bankrupt.
Yeah, they got to pay money for the protest for the Keystone Pipeline.
Oh,
So you funded.
$660 million in damages.
Well, Greenpeace, I don't care what anyone says. Greenpeace has been a terrorist organization for decades, my entire life.
you seen
And
the
you
fucking?
no, you're not. They're the assholes that used to pull up next to
The whalers.
whalers and attack their ships. Okay, you don't like what they're doing. That's fine. Attacking them isn't the way to handle this, right?
Mhm.
If you think attacking someone's the right way to handle it, motherfucker, I have more guns in my house than I have people. Okay?
But you ever
use
seen
the
the
fire hose. I got a shotgun.
you ever seen the protests afterwards, like before and after picture, where they go camping protests? It look trash. It's like trash. The entire place.
Oh yeah, especially when the Democrats show up and they protest for like
Yeah.
clean earth, and they just leave the whole place filthy because they threw
Yeah.
their empty water bottles and everything
Yeah.
on the street.
And and I could contest this. We went to protest. I went to protest in Richmond for the gun when Norton was the governor.
Uh-huh.
Dude,
Governor
everybody,
Blackface.
yeah, everybody after the protest were picking up trash, dude. We were all
Yeah.
picking up trash. You know, like okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, when the right or even libertarians, I say that libertarians rarely protest, but they clean up after themselves.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my god. So yeah, it looks like Greenpeace might be finally gone, like the IRA.
I'm sure somebody will take their place.
Yeah, some idiot will. And you know what? You say that, but Greta Thunberg. When was the last time you heard her say shit about the environment?
Oh,
I
you
think-
hear
I
about?
think she's in college.
You heard what the
She's
Germany just did?
They're
And
bringing
she's too
back the
busy-
nuclear power plants.
No, they destroy a coal plant, 6 years old coal plant.
So okay, that was what $500 million to build this thing.
Yes, it
And-
was
and
clean,
attached
clean
everything.
coal plant, and they just tore it down in Germany.
Well, what do you want to do instead? Like, clearly, what would you do instead of coal power? If you want to be clean, what do you want to do instead? What, wind? So what if
people
the
don't,
wind's not blowing?
they don't understand how fucking electricity works. They do not understand how that shit works, dude. It's just
No, you're absolutely right. They have no idea how
But
current
it-
happens.
yeah, how what it takes, how it takes, how
Well,
you know.
France used to be all nuclear. Now they have no nuclear plants.
Mhm.
You have the cleanest energy on the planet. Well, you had 2 rods you had to dispose of every 50 years from each power plant.
Right.
And you're nope. Instead, we're gonna start burning coal again because fuck nuclear, I guess.
Yeah,
And then the problem is people don't understand what they're talking about. Like you said, Guapo, they don't know what they're talking about.
they
They
don't
hear
know-
nuclear, they think bomb,
yeah, they
Yeah.
don't understand. They just react.
and then they bring up
Oh, but,
Fukushima, and it's
yeah.
like, don't build your fucking nuclear power plant on a fault line.
Yeah. No, but is it the one that happened in Japan recently with the power plant?
Fukushima.
Fukushima, they had warnings about like, hey, you need to fix this, and they never got
They were
around.
told in advance. They were told in advance. This is a problem. This is a problem. And then an
Yeah.
earthquake happened literally underneath the nuclear reactor.
Yeah.
And people bring up Chernobyl. Like, you're gonna tell me the Soviet Union was efficient? Is that enough of an argument for me to win that argument?
Yeah. That's
But anyway, I guess some inspectors generals are going to be in court trying to challenge being fired. Like,
It
hey,
doesn't look like they're getting their jobs back because the court said your shot of getting the jobs back slim to none.
what? I don't understand why you can't be fired from the government. I really
That's
don't.
why everybody wants to work for the government.
That's what it sounds like, because they're saying like, "Oh, you can't be fired." Oh yeah, you gotta be careful with the subtopics. We got the tariffs one under it. That's goes
Okay.
with. Yeah, I know. I'm trying new things out here.
All right.
But,
Sorry.
but why can't if you're worthless and we don't need to be paying this, why isn't it possible to fire you? Just sit at home and not work.
Well, I think Trump is learning from his first administration where he kept all the attorney generals in place, all the district attorneys in place, and they
They all
fought
fought
him
against
for
him.
years and did not want to agree to his policies and procedures. And he's just cleaning house as much as humanly possible this time around.
Yeah, and I think this wouldn't have happened had Trump not lost his second run for president.
No, he wouldn't. He's a totally different president this time around because of losing in the middle of the two terms.
Yeah, and I brought this up on Facebook a while ago. I was like, even if you hate the guy, 2 non-consecutive terms has only ever happened once before in history.
Yeah.
And like, this is a big deal, you know? But
And everybody hated you for that.
Oh, they did. They ripped me apart. Told me a new one. I was like, I don't understand. It's like, this is a huge historical moment. And then the funny thing is, one dude, actually, I think it might have been Sean. I'm not sure. Says like, oh yeah, guy was a billionaire. Yada yada yada. And I was like,
But this
Ronald
time around, I
Reagan.
don't think he spent as much as money of his own
No,
money
way
on the
less.
campaign as he did the first term.
No, he knew he was going to win because they ran Kamala. It was against Joe and then Kamala.
Yeah.
But,
Joe
but
definitely
I
had a
brought up
better
Reagan.
chance of winning than she did.
But yeah, I brought up Reagan. I was like, Reagan was a fucking actor. And he became president. And makes me think of when Rosie O'Donnell recently came out questioning how Trump's the only president to ever win all the swing states. And the first thing I thought was, swing states aren't a real thing. Like, that's states that go back and forth between parties. They change through time, right? And Reagan won 49 states. He took all the swing states. So, like, Rosie O'Donnell, who fled to Ireland, has no idea what she's talking about. She just wants to be offended. And it's funny because Rosie misgendered her own child. They, them, you know? And she called her kid her. And I just laughed. Just go, oh, I'm still figuring out. I was like, you're calling people Nazis for getting this wrong, and you're getting it wrong with your own child, you know?
Mm-hmm.
This is why it's okay to make fun of Rosie O'Donnell. Oh, you hate women. Only Rosie O'Donnell.
Hold on, did she say that you hate women?
Oh, when they said Trump hates women.
Oh, well, define
Rosie O'Donnell.
Define woman. What is a woman then?
It's an adult human female.
I know for them, the liberals, like the fucking.
I know. Oh, this just happened. The Women's March just happened. Did you see any of the stuff that happened at that?
No.
Oh, so many podcasters were there. And they were asking my questions, getting people to, like, quote, trust them. And they're like, oh, so, all right, well, it's the Women's March. What is a woman? Like, I don't think we can have this conversation anymore. And then they would use the word woman to define what a woman is. It's like, that's circular logic. You can't say a woman is anyone who identifies as a woman.
Right.
Because if that's the case, then literally anyone could be a woman. And this is what gets me. It's like, you can claim to be a woman, Brian, right? But you can't claim to be Hispanic, can you?
No.
No, I hope you know that your DNA is closer to Guapo's than it is to your wife's.
Okay.
No, well, no. The difference in melanin in your skin is in your DNA versus different organs in your body.
Right.
But you can claim to be, you can just say, nope, I'm a woman now, but you can't say I'm black or I'm Hispanic.
Crazy.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move into these tariffs that's going on. Canada. I don't understand why.
This is shocking to me that the new prime minister that just got the job is already calling for elections to, I guess, make. He could lose his job over this.
I think
real,
the way things are swinging, like they see the Canadians sticking to fight the Americans, and Pierre dropped the ball instead of like going against Trump. It should have been like, if I was the prime minister, this would never happen. You know.
Well, here's the thing: is I keep hearing how Canada would win a war against the United States, and I
How?
asked these people, how?
The
Like, what
hockey
do you
war.
mean, how? I was like, dude, I have more guns than Canada.
We got 3 times the amount of people as Canada.
How many aircraft carriers does Canada have?
None.
0. How many do we have?
13.
Is it I
Maybe
thought it was
12
11. Maybe
now.
it's 13. Oh,
Mm.
okay.
12 or 13.
Yeah. Do you know how many tanks Canada has?
None.
No, they have tanks. But 47.
They
How
can't
many
invade
tanks-
the United States.
How many tanks does the United States have?
Thousands.
Tens of thousands.
How many
Yeah,
are
I'm not-
stationed in the United States?
Oh, Jesus Christ. At least half of them
Okay.
in storage, right?
Well, there's a ton in Europe
Yes. About half of them.
right.
But I'm telling you, we could go across the border of Canada with just dudes with friggin' bolt action one-shot rifles and go,
Take 'em
this
out.
is ours now, eh? And the Canada's gonna go, oh fuck, we don't have guns. And I love Canada. Don't get me wrong. I used to go there all the time between 18 and 21 years old
I don't know why
You
you
go-
would do that.
to go party and drink. No, we used to go to the clubs in Montreal.
I went to Toronto.
Oh, all right. Same fucking reason though, right? It's like I can go party and go to the club, right?
Yeah, you didn't have to be 21 to drink in Canada.
Yeah.
18
And-
was the drinking age.
And they love the American dollar, but especially these fucking Quebecers, dude. They
No,
look
they
down
don't
on you
like
for not
anybody.
speaking French.
Yep.
It's like, oh, you love my American dollar, but you hate me. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck you too. It's like, you know what? Fine then. I'm gonna go bang your women, throw dollars at you like it's nothing, then go home, and your butt's still gonna hurt that your woman bangs some American guy. You know.
So, Everybody's freaking out about Trump's tariffs. What do you think about them?
I think I'm making a shit ton of money already, dude.
All right.
No, I have bought a whole bunch of stock of American companies between steel manufacturing, aluminum manufacturing, and automotive because of these tariffs. Because hey, it's going to cost these people extra money to import their stuff into their goods, and so that means people are more likely to buy American goods because they're less expensive, right?
Right.
Again, I say making money, but you know as well as I don't actually have that money. It's unrealized capital gains, right?
Yeah.
But
So
I have
you,
increased
so you
my
cash
net
out the
worth.
stock.
But since Trump has been in office, I have increased my net worth by like $30,000 by a handful of investments. And you know, next guy shows up. If it's not JD Vance, I'm gonna dump all this stock because it's gonna get overturned. So then I'll pay my capital gains tax, and then buy a different stock.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, U.S. Steel, in particular, it's still very inexpensive. And that's the one that Biden refused to let Japan buy. All right, Brian, please tell me why the left is gonna leave.
Where are they going?
Well, apparently they're creating their own Tea Party.
It's not going to work.
No.
Even the Republican Tea Party didn't last more than like election cycle or two.
Oh, it's a
Yeah,
joke.
because they got hunted down by the fucking Democrats.
Oh shit! All right, it's been long enough. I
Yeah.
was actually trying to organize an actual tea party in Boston.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, it did not go well.
You
But I
didn't dump
want,
any tea into the bay.
well, we were going to do it a
Was
little different. A little different.
that was that a pollution control issue?
Well, the idea was I was going to get probably 30, 40 guys, and we were going to rent out horses, dress up like natives, right?
No,
Ride
that's
up into
cultural
Boston.
appropriation.
Isn't that what the original Tea Party guys did?
They didn't dress up as natives.
Yes, they did. And we were going to throw like giant, like styrofoam teas into the bay as a tea party. So
You
everyone
can't
could
throw
see that
styrofoam
way.
into the bay.
Dude, horses, we would have been gone before the police would have known what to do. We would have disappeared through the houses, through the woods, not even on the roads. And they could have scooped that shit out. But just to say, tea party happened, but nobody wanted to get involved. And this was many, many years ago, like right after I got out of the Navy, when I started. Actually, we were still doing this show.
Right.
I was just like, these guys are all fucking stupid. Like, we need. Fuck, are you kidding me? Boston started a fucking revolution over a 3% tax on tea, and now
Look at our taxes now.
Now they're begging for more tax to pay for people that don't live there.
It's not like a struggle. That's what it is. Like I was telling you, everybody
a
got
bunch of hard asses. Now they're a bunch of pussies.
because life is easy, dude. Sometimes, dude. Sometimes.
Yeah, but they got to find a reason to be. They don't
Soften.
have God, and they don't have a
Soften.
struggle, so they have to come up with a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
And listen to this crazy bitch, AOC, and how they
Got
need
it.
Oh yeah, how they need to fight harder, but that's not what she says. Give it a good listen. Can you hear that, or is that too quiet?
Too quiet.
All right, I gotta do my volume thing here again because apparently my sharing sucks sometimes. Output level, crank it up, boom, got it. This is AOC talking about how we got to the Democrat Party needs a Democrat Party's not left enough.
And this isn't just about Republicans. We need a Democratic Party that fights harder for us too.
Farts.
Did you say fart?
She said farts.
She said that farts harder.
No, what she was thinking.
So does she take this shit seriously, or is it
Yeah.
a bag of shit with farts in it?
I was going another way, but yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
No, go ahead and tell me about her farts and how she farts harder than you.
She shits her pants.
To the U.S. United States Postal Service.
So you suggesting that AOC's toilet looks like a Jackson Pollock painting?
Oh, she been looking like chubby a little lately.
I've heard that, and she denied she was pregnant. And I was like, oh, so you just getting big.
Abortion, I know, whatever.
Farts.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm not going to speculate on that.
This just solidifies my views of AOC even more that she's an idiot.
Full of shit. But
Full of shit. Damn it.
Thank you. I'll be here all week, folks. Did you see these fucking? Where is this school that the U.S. Sun has? I want to say Texas, maybe Florida. A Texas bill is cracking down on furries in high school.
Hallelujah! It's a miracle.
No, and here's the thing: it's like, it's a big deal. There are children shitting in litter boxes in Texas high school.
That's
shitting
crazy.
in litter boxes.
Why are litter boxes allowed in school?
Yeah, that's over a $25,000 fine for this kind of garbage now. They're
What
wearing
kinda-
leashes.
Where are these high schools at?
Texas.
I know, but where in Texas?
I'm guessing
Austin,
probably Houston
Texas,
or
maybe?
Austin, yeah. But like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you usually have like 16-year-olds shitting in litter boxes. What the fuck are the parents? Oh, let's wait for Guapo. This would be funny. Well, go ahead and figure out your fucking headphones, dude. The wire. Oh my god. The wires on his headphones are outsmarting him. It's hilarious.
I'm missing it.
I know. I want Guapo to
Oh,
respond. but
this
he's-
law is not in effect yet. It's got to
Oh.
be voted on. Apparently, it's got to be.
Guapo. What do you think of high school students taking a shit in a litter box in school?
What?
They're furries.
Oh god, fuck those kids.
Yeah.
That's apparently
Oh,
what's
kid,
going on.
watch your language. You might go to prison for that one.
No, like why?
If we were a European-based show, we would definitely be going to prison.
Oh my god, yeah. No,
No, these kids are literally
No, not
shitting in
mentally-
litter
not-
boxes in school and wearing leashes.
okay, we don't know if they're mentally stable. They may buy a kid. Are they getting the rabies shots?
But how many kids are sick enough in the head to think I'm a fucking
can't
cat, I'm
be
gonna
that
poop in a litter
many.
box?
It's fucking single mothers, dude. Single.
So
fucking
this bill, this isn't in the law yet, but the bill is going to ban the use of litter boxes at school, wearing animal accessories like leashes,
Leashes.
collars, designs for pets, no wigs that are for pets, no tails, no leashes.
I'm sorry.
You're not allowed to make animal noises like barking, meowing, or hissing. You're not allowed to. Here, this is even better. You're not allowed to lick yourself for grooming.
Well, okay. To be 100% fair on that one, you get a paper cut on your hand, you lick it, don't you?
No, but that's not what they're talking about here.
I know it's all what they're talking about, but that's could be interpreted that way in the law.
I like to suck my own blood.
What
I
state?
wouldn't say
What
that.
state is this?
Texas.
Texas.
Oh, okay. Are they having that issue like that? That bad?
Enough that they're bringing up that enough kids are taking dumps in litter boxes in
Oh
school.
my god, that's so unhygienic.
No, who's cleaning that litter box?
And
Probably the furries.
that would be.
So they're scooping their own turds?
Oh my god. Did you guys hear about the fucking Maryland school, middle schools and stuff? They passed condom laws. They like you should have put a vending machine with condoms.
What?
Condoms.
What about them?
And Maryland, they passed a law that you have to put vending machine with condoms on it.
You have to do what with condoms on them?
Have a vending machine for condoms.
Have to?
Yeah.
Yes. You think I'm fucking bullshitting?
You're out of focus.
I know I am. I've tried.
You fine.
But the-
There we go. Here we go.
That's
You got.
coming in.
But
There you go.
the
That's
problem-
better.
Yeah. I
I
think you go.
see.
You took the camera.
Yeah. Camera autofocuses and it did its thing. But it's one thing to not say you can't get condoms because I actually have a problem with that. Oh, you can't get a condom till you're 18. Well, fuck you. I was younger than 18 when I had sex the first time, right? But to mandate them in my school
Yep.
just makes it a common thing, right?
Right.
Actually, I brought this up with my my mother-in-law today.
Okay.
Brian, a separate argument, but remind me. Why do we have such a huge tax on tobacco products?
To pay for the health care of smokers.
Nope.
Oh, bullshit. No, you want to disincentivize the use of tobacco.
Change people behavior.
Yes, Thank you, Bob.
But a lot of
Okay,
that money goes to like the children's health care program.
That's
Oh,
fine.
like
I
the
don't care
same
where
way the
money goes
lottery-
from. I'm saying I'm
The
not
same way the
saying-
lottery money goes to school, and everybody if they keep crying for money for school.
But yeah, I'm not even saying that what you're doing with the money. I'm asking why it's taken from here instead of there. So, like tobacco, alcohol, marijuana, gasoline, you're trying to disincentivize the use of it. And if that's the case, then why are we taxing income?
I don't know.
Sounds like it's to disincentivize it because let's be real, if the government shows up in your community and no one's got their hand held out waiting for a handout, the government has far less power, don't they?
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna relieve myself once more. You folks, go ahead and talk about Congresswoman Ratchet.
I was looking for a Twitter thing of this. I can't find it. So
Jasmine Crockett refused to apologize after calling Greg Abbott in Hot Wheels.
yeah, the article we got clipped doesn't have the video. Well, I mean, doesn't have it's got pictures but no video.
Nah, like they want to censor her. Like, no, let her keep talking. Let her keep digging herself.
It's better for the party,
Yeah.
the opposition party, if she keeps talking.
So I would not like, okay, whatever. This is how you want to act, okay. But they get upset, like, why we have to do better than Trump? Trump is blah, blah, blah. I thought you guys were saying you guys were better than Trump. So now you want to stoop to his level? You know, if you keep saying like, oh, Trump should be better, like, oh, we like this is literally Hitler. The next, you know, when you make finding names and stuff like that, like, oh, well, Trump did it too. Like, okay, so you want to stoop to his level? You know,
Yeah.
I don't care about her, dude. Let her keep talking. You know.
No, actually, she's only helping the Republican Party.
That's
Yeah,
what I just said. Yeah.
Yeah, let her keep
Yeah.
talking. I'm not gonna say.
Let's see how good. I'm gonna share a clip with you. It's not the clip I really want, but
That's fine. But before you share this, I just want to bring out her Governor Hot Wheels thing.
yeah, I couldn't find a clip for that.
Whatever, doesn't matter. Here's the problem: is Abbott should have responded instead of saying, "What the fuck's the matter with you?" He should have either come out with flames on his wheelchair,
Exactly. Yep.
or
Like a Hot
or-
Wheel.
Well, he's worth a couple $100 million, isn't he?
Yes.
So he could have built an actual
Mhm.
Hot Wheels ramp out of the governor's mansion that he could have
Yep.
taken down
Yep.
and then been Governor Hot Wheels.
Yep.
That would have been so fucking great, and you know it.
Yeah. Well,
Just keep trolling them.
Yeah, exactly.
I know there's been a lot of harsh words this week from Democrats, or most Democrats, towards Chuck Schumer.
Yeah. I think that what you see as a whole when it comes to Democrats is that we are really hard on ourselves, right? Think of us as, everyday people who look in the mirror and we see all the imperfections. That is what we do as a party. And it's a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing in the sense that we put up some of the most qualified people to run for office because we are so critical. It's also a curse when it's like, yes, we will fight each other. And yes, I was one of those, and I still am not very happy with Chuck Schumer. But I do understand that at the end of the day, he isn't my biggest problem. My biggest problem is the Republicans and Trump. But, he gonna catch the smoke too. And so that's something that we don't see out of Republicans. They do not look in the mirror and criticize themselves at all. That is how we ended up with the 34-count convicted felon sitting in the White House, because they failed to critique their own. It does make sure that we get the best of the best when it comes to running on the Democratic ticket. But again, it's a double-edged sword, and it's a blessing and a curse.
Okay. So
Bag of shit. First, you used Rumble. Thank you. You just made me like a penny.
Want a simple but totally brilliant trick?
Brian's got.
I'm working on it.
No bullshit. The Democrats all but march in lockstep, and they've only changed, had different opinions recently. And it's these folks saying that the Democrat Party is not far enough left. Meanwhile, you and I, in general, agree on most stuff because the left went so far left. But I'm going to still tell you that I think you fucking conservatives are stupid. And how many times have I said something similar to that on this show?
Every show.
Yeah, I think you Republicans are dumb for picking a party and saying, I'm going to go this way instead of, But the problem is, when was the last time the Democrats put up a decent candidate?
I don't remember when. Bill Clinton?
Bill Clinton. And that's only because he balanced the budget.
First term, not second term.
Yeah, well, he balanced the budget, and then he also, cut 755,000 jobs from the federal
government. And he lied to the Congress when he said he didn't have sex with that woman.
Yeah, okay. So, the president got a BJ.
I don't have an issue with that. I have an issue with him lying about it.
Yeah, no, you should be like,
You
yeah, I'm the
lied under
president. I got
oath.
my dick sucked. So what, right?
Yeah.
And you know what? I would have accepted that. You're right. And and he got impeached over it, didn't he?
Yep.
So, and then they say, this many felony convictions. Was he actually convicted of any felonies?
only because they changed the rules of engagement for calling it a felony for how long it
Nope.
was. They had to change the statute of limitations to make it a felony.
They changed the rules to charge him as a felon, and he was found guilty, but convicted means sentenced.
He has not
as
been
well.
sentenced, so he's not a
he
convicted
is not
felon.
a convicted felon.
That
So
won't
these
happen until
motherfuckers-
he leaves office.
So these motherfuckers are making shit up
Yep.
and lying to their constituents. And this is a matter of paying attention and knowing what's going on instead of getting butthurt. Jasmine Crockett, oh my God. And again, she's something like educated and everything. And instead of going, honey, please, it's hot out here, motherfucker. What about Governor Hot Wheels over there? You know?
Yeah.
Like, no, she's got this black scent that she puts on her because it sounds, because she thinks that her constituents are
You can hear that.
uneducated.
Yeah. But even the uneducated people are a lot times more educated than the educated people.
Well, what do you consider uneducated? You mean I didn't pay $80,000 to learn how to hate people?
I think
Yeah,
that
uneducated didn't graduate from high school.
no, I think what they're saying, they're not indoctrinated through the college system.
Yeah, that's what I meant by uneducated. Thank you. But like, when you say uneducated, as a bitch, I can weld in 5 different processes. I'm a master carpenter. I went to school for automotive repair. Actually, at ATI. I saw you wearing your ATI shirt last week.
What does that do?
I almost said how I went to school there too.
Okay, so how does that help the environment?
You mean I can actually do things instead of complain about stuff?
Well, are you
No, I
devoting
can
you
build the
devoting your
house.
time? Are you devoting your time to process Elon Musk? No, you're fucking uneducated. You're not
What do
educated.
I care about Elon Musk? Honestly, what do I care about him besides the fact that he's an unpaid advisor to the president?
He's killing jobs. Okay, those
Good. No, good. No, seriously, dude. Could you imagine you had 5 Netflix accounts, right? You're paying for 5 Netflix accounts, and I show up and say, "Hey, Guapo, you know you're paying for 5 Netflix accounts. I'm gonna go ahead and cancel 4 for you." And you say, "Fuck that! You pissed me off. I want to light the other guy's car on fire because of it."
You see why you compare Netflix to a government job? People gotta eat. Okay, we need a fucking Virginia
And how
fucking
many
candy
people
to
getting
stay
paid
blue.
at Netflix? How many people getting paid at Netflix because you are paying for 5 accounts?
Probably 1 out of those 5.
Yeah, and now
Netflix cracked down on that. You can't do that anymore.
No,
no, I'm not saying
missed the
sharing your
conversa-
account. I'm
no,
saying you're
missed the
paying for
conversation.
multiple
Yeah.
accounts.
Yeah, but yeah, you can limit it in government jobs. They're essential. Okay,
Well, that's why I was actually hoping for a government shutdown.
I know.
Because then Trump could have gone, "Hey, look, all these non-essential workers, they don't non-essential means they don't need to be here."
Yeah, they still get paid. So
Fire them all at that point, right?
Yeah. That's
Oh,
why Chuck,
military.
That's
Look,
why Chuck.
military's still working but not getting paid. I guess we still need military.
That's why Chuck Schumer fucking bent the knee because he knew like this is gonna expose him.
it was going to be bad for
Exactly.
the Democrats.
Exactly. They were going
And
to say
that's
all
why.
this money.
And
a
it is
The average
Democrat.
Democrat won't agree with that, won't ever acknowledge it, but he
And
figured it out.
That's
But he's
exactly
not-
what happened.
He stepped on his own toe because he goes it was a going against.
He's not running for re-election.
No.
I'll make that
So that's
prediction
why
now.
you
He's
go
not
say,
running
"What
for
the fuck?"
re-election.
Before he fucking voted for it, he was all against it and it's like, oh shit, I spoke too soon. Then he voted for it. That's when all the Democrats like, what the fuck are you doing? You know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to move on to the next topic, and
All right.
there's a good chance I use a word that we're not supposed to use, but we're not on Netflix anymore, so probably nothing's going to happen.
Netflix. We've never been on Netflix.
Not Netflix, YouTube.
We are on YouTube. We actually got a new subscriber this week.
Oh,
and a
maybe I should-
comment.
maybe-
Oh, what was it?
really?
Yeah.
Can you read me the comment?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can. Let me go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead.
let me-
I'm gonna start this next one while you
Go
look it
for
up. This California school had a whole bunch of students wear shirts printed and it says "I heart niggers,"
Oh.
but they misspelled the N word.
How do you misspell the N word?
1G.
Okay.
And not an A. It was E. Oh, it was hard R. How is that?
R, does like capitalized R?
Well, no, they
Oh.
actually not they went not and I saw was like, whoa, who's teaching their kids that this is the way to like do anything? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
We're not gonna get over racial issues by doing this, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they even misspelled it, which makes me once again say Department of Education really blew it here, right?
So I want to. What show do you think we got a new subscriber on? The title of the show. What? One of our last few shows that stood out to you. What name would it be?
I would have to bring up our list of shows, honestly, because I don't know the names of most of them because I'm usually pretty drunk by the time we do that.
What a bozo.
What a bozo.
Oh, that was last week, wasn't it?
Yep. And
I
the
shared that
person's they're Devin 4866. I love this.
Oh, good. Devin,
Yeah.
share this shit out, buddy. Share means more than a like because someone else might give it a watch or listen.
I mean, we
yada,
don't get a
yada.
lot of people showing up on our YouTube channel, so I was shocked when I got the email. Because it took a little bit of effort to figure out how to do a podcast on YouTube. You know, there's a couple extra steps you got to jump to get it to go there. So, but
Which
it's
is
there
nuts 'cause-
now, and we get a strike and we get kicked off YouTube. Oh no, what will we ever do?
Back to our ways.
Still, the video's not going to YouTube. It's on audio only on YouTube. So
No, which is funny because we used to do video on YouTube and Rumble that I would do on my channel, but we got in trouble and we struck out on YouTube over COVID,
right.
and then everything that we got
Strike
strikes
done.
for
It was
no.
proven true.
Yes, and YouTube was like, "Oops, our mistake," but they didn't take our strikes away.
Oh god.
So I started a new YouTube channel up attached to the Jeffrey and Brian Show channel, and that's
How did he stumble across this show?
I have no fucking idea. I could send him a message and ask, but you know, I'm like,
Good actually.
Yeah.
Right. You need to send me the link to the show on YouTube.
I gotta find the link to the show.
Oh,
on YouTube.
God.
I'll find it and send it to both of you because I know both of you guys are more
Oh, God.
YouTube than I am. So
Yeah, I can just search the name of the show on YouTube and find it. I'm sure.
well, I mean, I can go into Podbean and find it too because that's where it's going out from. So I'll do that after the show's over.
Which is funny because I mentioned this a couple guys recently. I spoke to last week. Invited on the show, but they didn't want to come on. Guy I went to high school with. Oh man, I mentioned Podbean. He's like, "What the fuck is? I've never heard of Podbean." And I was like, "Yeah, it costs less than all these other ones."
Yeah.
I was like, "You can listen to it on Spotify. That's fine, but you're gonna get commercials that we're not getting paid for." I was like, "Art."
Actually, we're not on Spotify.
Yes, we are.
We are?
We are.
We're not communicating? Yes, we are.
Damn, we are on Spotify. You're right.
We're on. Yep, we're on Spotify.
I'm
I
on
know we are.
Podbean now. We're on
And
Spotify.
It's full of commercials, but we don't get paid for those commercials. So if you listen to the Podbean, it's commercial free because we pay for storage space instead of commercials.
All right, here
Whereas
comes. I'm about to shoot over the YouTube link.
All right.
Oh yeah, we don't.
That is our new YouTube channel.
All right. Okay. Sorry. I read it as like 3 drunken sailors. Like, oh, that's the chat we use.
Well, at this point of the night, what do you expect?
No. I don't think people understand. We have a Facebook chat we use to share these articles that Brian and I go through and share into this Google Doc, and then I go through and organize.
Yeah.
But yeah, we call it 3 drunken sailors because that's.
I don't know where the name come from.
I know why they did it. We always drunk and we were
all 3 of us were drunk at the same time.
Yeah.
You mean every Saturday doing this show?
Yeah.
I can see that actually. I haven't been drunk in a while doing this show. Today's the first day I've had more than like 4 beers doing the show.
Dang, you're being responsible all of a sudden.
I know, but I had 4 before we started today because my mother-in-law's in my house.
Anything else you want to cover here?
I don't know. Did you see this white broad that attacked a dude at a New York subway, a black dude at a New York subway for his MAGA hat and called him a racist?
Oh, yeah. Typical racist liberal.
Oh, it's hilarious because there's a video of it too.
Yeah, I saw
on
that.
YouTube. She took a spill and face planted on the cement on the New York subway, trying to snatch the hat off this dude's head, and he ran away holding it up, going as he ran away from her.
I don't know why the red hat set so many people off. It's ridiculous. Just a hat.
It's a populist law, dude. To see something like that, and it just triggered them.
So TDS?
Oh, yeah.
TDS is a real thing. It really is. Like, these folks don't know why they're offended. Like, my little sister, right?
Uh-huh.
I asked her why she hated Trump. She goes, he's a racist. I was like, oh,
wow.
I was like, oh, can you give me an example? She goes, literally everything he says.
Okay.
Oh, well, then it should be, I said, it should be very easy to come up with a single example.
She
And
can't.
She couldn't. She couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, what about someone saying something like, I don't want my children to grow up in a jungle, a racial jungle. She goes, yeah, there you go. Perfect example. I was like, that's a quote from Joe Biden.
That was Joe Biden.
Yeah.
That ain't Trump.
Yeah. And you bring, and they're like, oh, well, it's always their argument. It's like, come on, man. I expect better than jibber jawing. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Maybe I say maybe. I know as a fact, there's me joining the Navy. I made sure to read the Constitution like 15 times in a row and actually understand what it says. Because I wrote a check up to including my life in defense of the Constitution of the United States of America, right? So maybe I should know what the fuck it says.
I think that's the when you go in boot camp, they should indoctrinate you into the Constitution. What does it mean? Read it. What does it mean? What are you standing for? You know, what are you defending?
Well, check this out. My niece, my wife's brother's child, is studying the Constitution right now. She's 12. And I asked, all right, well, what's Article 2 say? And she looked at her dad, and he looked at her, and she goes, what's an article?
Oh.
She
Not
only
really
knows
studying the Constitution, huh?
She knows the amendments is what they're studying.
The Bill of, not the Bill of
Bill of
Rights.
Rights and more. Yeah. But I was like, no, Article 2 actually explains how the executive branch operates and what its authorities are.
Yeah, there's a book called I forgot the name of the book, but they go to like what happened, how things go, and because of Rhode Island, we have a Bill of Rights. You know,
Well, what's ridiculous is the Bill of Rights. They never expected to have to write because they thought this shit was self-evident, as they put in the preamble, right?
Yeah, so like no, Rhode Island's like I need a Bill of Rights. That we're not gonna be part of the union if you don't give me a Bill of Rights. So
Well, not even that. I'm just saying in general, they didn't expect to have to write a Bill of Rights because we see these as self-evident.
no, see, this is why the founding fathers were smart about it because they knew human behavior. Like now, people are gonna be fucking stupid.
And then you hear these idiots like, oh, the Second Amendment says you need to be in a militia to have a gun. Like, first of all, that's not what it says. It says militias are important, therefore you can have a gun. But what makes someone a militia?
Yeah.
Can I just say I'm a militia and all of a sudden I can have a gun?
No, that's not how it works. You're not a there's no such thing as a one-man militia.
Why not?
Because that's not the definition of militia.
Bring it up. I'm not even kidding you. What does militia mean? And it probably says group. You're right. So, okay, I can get two of my buddies together and we can call ourselves a militia if we ride around ATVs with rifles. Now, this is the issue I'm seeing with their argument. Like, I don't need government authority to say that we're a militia, right? Here we go.
Here we go. I got it.
Brian,
a military
Paul, you
force that is
militia?
raised from the civilian population to supplement a regular army in an emergency. A military force that engages in rebel or terrorist activities in opposition to a regular army. All able-bodied citizens eligible by the law to be called upon to provide military service supplementary to the regular armed forces.
Boom. That last one you just said there. applies to all of us. And you even said a terrorist organization. We could be terrorists, and all of a sudden we're allowed to have guns, and no one else is.
Yeah.
This is my point here. Anyway, you got something brought up, and we should start talking about Bill Maher more because he's pulling his head out of his ass real fast lately. I don't know if you've noticed.
He went to go see President Trump.
Did he go? I knew he was going to. I didn't know what happened yet.
He did.
And his entire party hated him for it.
Yeah.
No.
This is about Disney's latest movie.
Oh, they blew this.
I don't know how.
Snow White.
Time to meet the panel. Say hello to Fox News contributor Joey Jones and rap legend Danny Boy O'Connor in the house. One note for some of our audience members, okay? You are a part of the iconic rap group House of Pain that sang Jump Around.
That's correct.
Okay, and Joey Jones has been kicked out of 100 bars for that song. So
Joey Jones can no longer jump anywhere. Not around, up and down, no jumping left in me, man.
Not a big jumper, okay? But the audience loves him.
You know why? Isn't he amputated?
What?
See, we don't
This
have
is
an
older than
Oprah
you,
budget
Brian.
where everybody
That's
gets
why
a
he
car.
doesn't jump anymore.
Okay, that's fine.
No, he don't got no legs.
All right, so it's great to see you both. But
He's
check this out,
amputated.
America. So Disney's woke reboot of Snow White premieres tonight in Hollywood. And the good news is
I might
Snow
have to
White
check this
doesn't have
show out.
7
I didn't know
inches.
Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, he's funny.
Gotta be better than
He's
Saturday
It
Night
doesn't have
Live.
7 viewers because this
Yeah,
thing
he's
is on
funny.
track. It's a situation. This thing's on track to bomb worse than a pager store in Lebanon. It is not.
Oh my God! Whoa!
I almost spit out my beer.
That problem started back when the film was first announced,
Whoa!
and lead actress Rachel Ziegler said Snow White would abandon the classic storyline that made Disney zillions of dollars over the years, and it's why they were rebooting the film. Watch this.
It's no longer 1937. She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
Now, listen.
Not
The
1937.
Prince thing I
That's
sort
a
of get.
1,000-year-old
Because if a girl wants
story.
to be kissed while she's sleeping, she'd go on a date with Bill Cosby. Like, I get it.
Oh! Oh!
There we go. Jokes. But the film took
That was a good
other
one.
social justice positions, like replacing the dwarves with CGI images to avoid being mean to little people. Because nothing shows your support for a group of
Dinklage.
people like refusing to hire them, you know? This was, of course, met with backlash from Ally Chapman. She is the star of Little Women, who said, quote, Disney had the great opportunity to cast very talented actors like ourselves. They missed the boat. And let's face it, if anybody knows about
Dinklage is
missing
the
the
reason.
boat, it's a girl who's not tall enough to ride the log flume.
Oh!
There's also
Damn.
a small problem that Rachel Ziegler is seemingly pro-Hamas, and she reportedly doesn't get
Seemingly?
along with Israeli co-star Gal Gadot. And if that weren't enough to make Snow White's producers eat a poison apple, I mean, damn. Check out her comments about the majority of Americans who voted for Donald Trump. This is what she posted on Instagram after the election,
now
in
she-
quote, may Trump supporters and Trump voters and Trump himself never know peace.
And now
Those
you're
were her
offended they didn't come
comments.
see your movie.
Stop it.
Right?
Well, the joke's on
Yep.
her because Trump voters will know peace if they go to the theater because they're going to be the only ones there to watch this piece.
Vegeta and Goku,
Stop.
right?
I'm going to come to you first for one reason, okay? You are the owner of the Outsiders house in Tulsa, Oklahoma, based on the iconic film The Outsiders, okay, which of course inspired the
Outsiders?
Broadway
I
musical,
love that
The
book.
Outsiders. Could you ever imagine in a billion years alienating half of your potential customers before the thing came out?
No, and I'm
Like
glad
Michael
that
Jordan.
with the reboot and
Yep.
the musical that they didn't go crazy with that. They reimagined it, but they didn't completely tear the story apart and
Yeah.
make it.
No, she just wants to fight the patriarchy and vote for Kamala. But other than that, but what I'm saying is business-wise, you know, the business model worked. If it ain't woke, don't fix it. You know that whole thing?
You're gonna do
But
all
let me ask
7.5
you this,
minutes
'cause
of
you would
this?
know this. 'Cause
No, I'm done.
All right. Well, and no, exactly. I always said Goku and Vegeta, and I'm surprised Guapo didn't get that reference because he shared the meme of Goku and Vegeta saying, "Let's go fight somewhere safe where there's no one," and there was
Yeah,
in a
movie
Snow
theater.
White movie theater.
Yeah.
But here's the problem, like, not the problem, but one thing that really got me with this movie is Gal Gadot was the evil queen, right?
Yeah.
She's asking the mirror, who's the fairest of them all? And it said this other bitch, Rachel Zegler. Gal Gadot is way more attractive than Rachel Zegler.
Right.
Yeah.
What? And no one disagrees with me on this one.
Have you seen?
God.
Have you seen Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot walking the Oscar?
She's probably a foot and a half taller than her.
Yeah, but the way she was walking around, Zegler was like, it's like a fucking boy. It looked like a fucking boy.
Well, and she comes out talking about like kill the Jews. I love Palestine. Gal Gadot's like, I was born in Israel, you know?
Yeah,
right.
See, this is what happens when you let fucking actors and actors talk about politics. And probably she's gonna be the sacrificial lamb, and she's gonna set an example for everybody else. Stop talking about fucking politics.
Apparently, she'd been in other movies previously that were bombed.
She was a West Side Story. She got a good voice.
West Side Story was a giant ripoff of Romeo and Juliet, and you know.
Yeah. But she did. Steven Spielberg did a remake just recently, like a couple years ago, and she was part of that. And
so if you don't do remakes,
yeah, and she did the Hunger Games.
Snow White is a 1,000-year-old story. People know that, right?
It's from the fucking Grimm brothers.
Grimm brothers. Brothers Grimm.
Yeah,
I have it on my shelf.
Some things you're better off just not fucking with, you know. Just
if
you want to make a remake based
Disney
on like the original thing.
Disney
it's something else if you want to change it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Disney changed the story for the original one. It's a little bit more gruesome, and it's like Grimm's brother. All the stories are gruesome. It's just scare kids, keep it straight, you know.
Well, did you notice in the animated version she had a sparrow land on her hand, and in the movie with Rachel Zegler she had a fucking crow land on her hand? Aren't crows the harbinger of death?
Yep.
Killed that movie, didn't she?
Yeah. She get her career.
Ryan.
She get her career.
You gotta take over sharing.
Oh shoot! I don't know what.
I took it back from you.
And that's why. Oh yeah, right. I am not sharing, and I clicked the wrong audio link anyway because I'm a fucking moron.
That's because you've been drinking.
Yeah. Well, the show went out longer. I don't understand. Jesus Christ, what? I keep clicking on? Yeah, I keep clicking on in the morning and not intro. No wonder why. There we go. Show seems to keep going longer the more I drink. Never get through it. But yeah, no, over 2 hours. That's enough time, right?
Yeah.
Almost 3.
Almost.
So let's pinch this turd off, buddy.
All right. Pinching.
But